We'll do it live. We are back. We have been gone for about 10 days now. I'm sorry. We had a lot of
367.
we had a lot of shit going on. Personal, professional, and all kind of weather inclemented nonsense. But we are here. We are back. So welcome to another edition of Cho Thoughts. I am the Big Cho. Of course, that is Big E. And wow, sorry you haven't saw us in a while. We've been going through a whole bunch of shit. Um, and just right out the gate, I just want to address on my end people that have reached me out about my situations or things that are going on in my life right now. Um, there are two sides to every story. That's as much as I'm going to talk about it. Okay? And that's the end of that. Furthermore, see, Justin Timberlake got arrested for a DWI.
Yeah, I was in the car with him. That was crazy as shit.
Yeah, I told you.
I know you said don't be hanging with JT. It's not good for your, publicity. And I said, JT, how could you not?
Yeah, but then
But then he got the swerve and they lit him up, pulled him
exactly.
over. He was 5 times over the legal limit.
And now he probably ain't going to get a license back until when? May. I said it.
Yeah.
What I don't understand is this: is if he's at some whatever gala event, whatever celebrities in general, like why would you drive home?
My thing is like I thought he was on tour. So I'm like, all right, was he performing it? Because he was in New York. So I
Right.
was like, was he performing in New York? Like, I don't know. But then my also kind of to what you just said, like, he's a celebrity. If he's out doing shit, whether even if he was doing the tour, don't they got drivers?
That's what I'm thinking. There's
You know what I
drivers,
mean?
there's
They
chauffeurs.
got the black SUV. Throw him in it in the back. Let him sleep it
It's
off
a
while you
done
take him.
deal. Like, and all this could have been avoided.
I mean, he's in New York. What about his boy Jimmy Fallon? He could have picked him up.
Yo, did you see there's fucking reels saying it's like Jimmy Fallon on his way to pick up Justin Timberlake, and it's the one
No,
where he's looking and then Justin like peers from behind the corner.
no, I didn't see that.
Oh my god, they ate that shit the fuck up. They ate it up.
That's what I'm saying. Like, well, I mean, but that's them celebs though. They invincible.
Yeah, even he ain't bringing sexy back. I mean,
Oh, he bringing sexy back in that jail cell.
yeah, never know. Might be fucking chilling with Diddy.
Big Walter in there, like, hey, sexy.
Right? He's like, what you know about May?
He was like, you about to lose that suit and tie real quick.
I'm gonna show you some 2020 vision. We could
Yep.
be here all fucking day with this.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I was just like, wow, okay. Because like I got some things to talk about and whatnot, but like I saw this morning and I was like, okay. I was like,
Yeah,
I'm gonna lead with that. That's
it
good.
was, it was like breaking news yesterday. I guess it
Yeah,
happened yesterday.
yeah. I was like, huh, what do
I was
you
like, well,
know? Just like um, I guess there was a post. It was on the Instagram thread. It said, I guess he wasn't in sync with the road, dude. They were there. The internet is fucking merciful, dude. Merciless. They're just they don't give a
we
fuck.
should stay off the internet. It's not good for people.
I'm just it's bad news.
Yeah.
It's bad news.
Yeah.
Um, and then to swerve it out for a minute because I'd like to talk about Monday Night Raw.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Can't talk about Monday Night Raw.
Why not?
The cancel culture is boycotting it. And I don't want to get caught in the middle of that shit.
What? Canceling Monday Night Raw?
Canceling WWE.
Why?
Because that's supposed to be a family friendly show. and now they're murdering motherfuckers on the TV. So how are they supposed to let their kids watch this show when there's murder happening?
Well, the thing is if you know wrestling, and judging by mom and dad, if they've watched it, or whatever parents you have, they've probably watched wrestling in their time and can tell them, hey, it's scripted. Nobody died.
No, don't be saying that. It's real. It's not fake.
Sure. Don't even get me started on that one. Like,
I mean, my thing is Chad Gable just clarified for the Money in the Bank match, and then he's dead.
yeah, he's pretty dead. Or whoever. I still don't know who that was inside Gorilla with the blood splatter behind it. I don't know who that was on the ground.
It looked almost like one of the I don't know what show they're on though. I don't know if they're on Raw. It almost looked like the blonde dude from Pretty Deadly.
They're on SmackDown.
Yeah, so maybe that doesn't make sense. Well, I mean, they could have just used him for the skit, but because it
True.
was a blonde dude, it looked like he had a man bun. So,
Well, it could have been Tyler Breeze too.
oh yeah, yeah,
Because Breeze does a lot of behind the scenes shit now too.
yeah. That's what I mean. Like it could have been anybody.
But I love how like Gunther's laying there. They say it's Carmelo Hayes, but he says it's not him, which that could, I know
Yeah,
wrestling.
that was I could have sworn
That
that
was
was him
Hayes.
laying by Rowan's feet.
Yeah, that was Hayes and Gunther.
Yeah.
Seth
Did you?
Rollins fucked up.
I felt I felt that Rowan holding the hammer. I felt that was an homage to Harper
Yeah, it's definitely an homage to
because when they did the Brothers together,
Brothers.
they had those big.
Yep, it's definitely one to Hubert for sure. Um, and then that's Dexter Loomis is the Vulture chilling,
Yeah, it's Dexter.
and then
Grace was the
Gacy's in the
pig,
back.
and
He's the
then
pig.
yeah, and then obviously
You know,
Howdy's
uh,
Howdy.
Taylor is Howdy. Yeah, but dude, I loved Nikki Cross. I loved her coming out the way she did.
That almost had like a
Ring feeling.
yeah. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah, which I've never seen any of those movies, but
But I mean, you get the spectacle of the way she came out, like because of the
yeah,
movie. You know what I mean?
yeah.
In previews.
The
But
crawling and the white dress,
oh
the
my
whole
god!
like the white gown.
And then her makeup or the mask that she had, joke, loved
Yeah.
it.
My whole thing is it was like I don't like I didn't have any problem with it. I thought it was very well done. The production was phenomenal. I think that was a step above what we're used to seeing from WWE.
Right.
Like I just think that just is like a sign of the future, not just for this group, but for other things down the
Yep.
line. Like we know the storytelling's there. I mean, well, we didn't finish, but we're still in the midst of this bloodline story. Like, uh, just the Cody story, like all the other stuff. The storytelling's there, and like they were always pretty good with like the sets, especially like pay-per-views, building the sets, and obviously WrestleMania has always been a spectacle and has been done very well, and the entrances,
Right.
but this was like like I don't want to say quality, but movie style shit.
Yeah, it was very movie esque, especially going back to Gorilla,
Yeah,
shit all fucked up with the Wyatt Six in the corner.
yeah.
That was nice.
Dude,
Nice
did you see
touch.
how they're spelling it on a
Yeah.
play of words? It's SICX.
Yep.
I was like, oh, I get it. And
But
that was
dude,
the other thing.
he would have
That,
loved it.
that was the other thing. Everybody's like, well, why is it six? There's only five of them. And It was in the midst of the argument of this mom, I assume, that was ranting about it being vulgar now for her kid. And she was like, "Well, that's how dumb you guys are. Is they're calling it the Wyatt Six, and there's only 5 of them. Can't you idiots count?" And this dude tore her a new asshole in the comments. He was like, "If you watched wrestling and paid attention, the 6th member's dead, you dumb bitch." Like,
Right.
he went off on her. He was like, like if he was alive, like obviously he'd be the 6th member and the whole 9 yards. Like he just went off, and I was like, I mean, that's a bit much. We are in the long run still just talking about wrestling. Like
Right.
this is getting a little overheated here.
But the thing is, you can't fuck with wrestling fans, dude. They are
No, and I think that it
insane
was the
nuts.
guy took more offense because of like Bray. Like everybody was so like I know you follow her. I don't. I just see her clips. That uh breezy blonde. She does like wrestling reviews.
Oh yeah, Wheezy Blonde.
She I just watched her thing today. Like her video popped up of her watching that for the first time. And she was like, I had tears. And did you Paul Rosenberg that does like the pay-per-view stuff, like his podcast?
Yeah.
Did you see his video with Cody or with Corey?
Yeah, and Corey said it brought him to tears too.
Yeah, like there was so many people that were like, I mean, I thought it was a touching moment. Like I wasn't in tears, but like, I mean, again, you know, for what it was, I was like, it was very. But this is where I'm stuck. Where do they go from here?
I've been wondering that too. Like, you can't
I,
have this ginormous horror faction that does this implementation and this impact so bluntly. And then what are you gonna do? Make them mid quarters?
no, well, it's not even so much that. It's just like the story. Like, okay, we all knew that they were supposed to debut last night. The hints, the cue, the clues, and the whole 9 yards. So we were sitting there waiting for shit to happen. And to be honest, I was expecting them to come to the ring and attack somebody. Like, you know, we had the big, the match at the end. Like, you're just waiting for. I thought even maybe at that point, whenever, who was it? Sammy, um, Braun, and who was the other person? It was Braun ended up fighting the other dude at the end of the night. I forgot.
I can't put a place on it. But if you think about it, they were there throughout the entire night.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But it was like I just assumed that there was some moments where I'm like, oh, okay, we might get them now. Like I was waiting for like what happened, the lights to go out, the lights come back on, and they are surrounding somebody in the ring. You know what I mean? And they jump them. Like that's what I was expecting their debut to be.
Not a full
Not
blown fucking massacre.
not what we got. And I was like, what is this? What it is going to be every Monday now? Like they're just gonna
Come in and annihilate everybody and leave.
like we're gonna somebody's gonna get murdered.
Yeah.
Like I don't. There was an exclusive with with Jey Uso from the
That
back
was the best.
where
You
he
could
was
have
like,
them
I don't want the
Fireflies back.
no more. He's like, Trips, run. Like,
He was like, you could have them Fireflies back. He was like, you see that girl? You see
yeah.
that girl?
Like I'm like, that's what I mean. Like, and then here's my other thing. No one says they're exclusive to Raw. Are they gonna show up on Friday to SmackDown?
Yeah, because they weren't drafted anywhere.
They weren't draft like I don't think you can. You ain't drafting that. Adam Pierce is too busy dealing with a guy putting people through car windows.
Right. But now Adam Pierce don't have like half his staff.
It was Sheamus. That's who it was.
Oh
His
yeah.
Braun fought Sheamus
Yeah.
because he ended up snapping Sheamus and Ludwig in half.
Well, they first I was reading the comments and they were like, oh, maybe they'll go after Jay because of the whole Fireflies thing. But that was more or less a tribute. Like that was casted on Jay. Like,
Yeah, he
his
didn't ask
fans
for
did that.
that.
Right. But I just love when he was like, yo, y'all can have them back. His
Yeah.
family's here. I'm good. You know what? And I'm gonna get the hell out of here. You should probably leave too, Kathy. And then he's like, yeet.
Yeah,
He
like
did. It was like yeet,
it
and
was
I'm
just
gone.
so it's like, like who, I mean, I guess they could have a feud with whoever they want, you know what I mean? Like, but it's just like, how do you, I don't know. I'm intrigued more of the what the story's going to be with this crew, and obviously looking forward to more of the theatrical. I
Yeah,
would hope. I hope that's like we got that, and then it's going to be boring.
I really hope not either. Then I was also reading, and then of course was talking to the good old tribal chief
Yeah,
about um, what does he think the long game is, and he's like, well, if they really wanted to do the Bliss part, they can. He's like, but sticking with the Lantern being the spirit of Bray Wyatt, he's like,
yeah,
that's pretty much clutch. He was like, keep it that way. He was like, but nothing in the WWE ever lasts forever. Like, so he's like, I wouldn't be surprised if they do the Bliss angle, which makes it 6. But
yeah. But see, and that's because Jane was asking that. She was like, "Dad, I thought we were going to get like Bliss as a part of the crew," and I said, "That's the thing. Right now, old WWE very predictable. This new Triple H era of WWE not predictable,
no,
and everybody in the wrestling world was just automatically assumed that Bliss was going to be either part of the ringleader, like she was going to be, running this crew with Howdy, or be a main focal point of the Wyatt Six crew. And that's what everybody expected. So what does Trips do? He's like, I'm not going to give you what you want or what you think.
right.
I'm gonna go this direction.
Well, that's
And
why I,
then,
I mean,
I mean,
I
they could
think
still add her because, I mean, even herself, we were talking about it when you guys came over for Clash. Like, Bliss was there. Like, she's posting her own photos saying, like, oh, yeah, I'm here. Like, she's back. And it's
right,
like, okay, do we. Do we even possibly get like my thought was is do we just get regular Bliss back and then
yeah,
they kind of like repossess her almost? You know what I mean? Like,
something takes her over again.
yeah, like, she's just back as good old Alexa Bliss, and then again, the spirit of him in the lantern maybe starts fucking with her mind,
Right,
or
it could happen.
so
But
and again, that's
Nikki
the thing is like
Cross works, bro. Nikki Cross works as Sister
I think
Abigail.
all of them do. My question is do they wrestle with the masks on?
Yeah. Or if they take them off, what's the story behind
Because
like
we all
why?
know who they are. They're
Yeah,
not they're not wrestlers that nobody know. You know what I mean? Like people that were in the performance center or people from like from like Ohio Valley or something that they brought up and are paying to be part of this crew. Like it's kind of like it kind of like it would be like wow, comparable but not comparable. Like it's like whenever the Shield debuted, nobody knew who the three of them were.
no,
You know what I mean? They were just these three dudes that were just coming in and fucking people up.
literally fucking people up and leaving.
Yeah, so it's like you can't do that with them because these guys are and girls are all established. You know what? That was the other thing too. I seen people commenting on. You know, like people were forgetting like Tyler, yeah, he's gonna be carry on the spirit of his brother and he's doing the Uncle Howdy character and all that, but like people forget because he's been out away from the actual ring for so long. Like dude can put it on he can wrestle, like you know what I mean?
Yeah, the kid can go. He can
I
go.
mean he might have a little ring rust he's gotta get off, but like when he was wrestling, you know what I mean? Like fuck I mean what's his name? We're goddamn tag champs.
Yeah,
B King. You know what I mean? Like he's no scrub. Like he was a high build guy for a while.
yeah. He still made you believe
He oh he's a believer.
for sure.
So
Like
it's intriguing to see what they're gonna do.
like, yeah, what's the next thing that happens? And I'm actually going to look forward to SmackDown on Friday just to see if, like we just said, like maybe they're assigned to both.
Yeah, they're not even like they're just fuck. They might well they didn't show up on NXT yesterday, but
No, but we got those QR codes and messages in both shows, right?
yeah,
Yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised.
yeah, that's what I mean. So we don't know.
I'm definitely
And then
looking.
did you see the other news? Speaking of cliques and groups and issues, Roman said they're not waiting until SummerSlam. He's coming back at Money in the Bank.
Nice.
Yeah, it was not Rosenberg. He's the other guy that does. I can't think of the name of his like wrestling podcast. He's the other bald guy that they sometimes have on. Little,
Sam.
yeah, the little scrawny guy. I think it was him and his people that broke the news that yeah,
Roman's coming.
Roman's not waiting.
Well, I mean, that's good because then I could build real nice for SummerSlam.
Yep, I think that's why Trips was okay with it. Like, if you're ready to come back, like we definitely, you know what I mean. We got some shit we could put together.
Yeah, get some shit going. I was shocked Seth Rollins came back so quick.
Yeah, that was another shocker on Monday
Yeah, I didn't
to
see
open
that
that
way.
because to be honest, I thought we were opening with the six,
Yeah,
and then I'm like, oh fuck, but then I'm like, okay, again, opportunity is Seth their first
right.
person. You know what I mean?
Like stops him from beating Priest.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, but then they again nothing happened. So I was like, all right, well, we got at this point another 3 hours to go. Let's see what we get. And obviously they waited till because even Jane was like, Dad, wrestling goes right to the point. She was like, there's like, I think she looked at the clock. There was like 8 minutes left when that last match ended, and I was like, yeah, they're gearing up or something. And then next thing you
Yeah,
know, the fucking lights went out.
and then it was like long. I was like, holy shit!
Yeah.
But I loved every fucking minute of it, bro.
And again, I start thinking production wise, like, so you got to think during that last match, like, they're setting all that shit up in the back, doing like, the changes, props and scene and what, like, you know what I mean? They had to get all those people dead and on the floor and set up
Blood
each, and,
spilling on
and
the back wall.
yeah, and then like, setting up each individual component, you know what I mean? Like, Bliss coming or Cross coming out, like, because it was kind of like, well, fuck, like, how did nobody notice them setting up the doorway and put it like, at least those fans that, sit there by the end, have those corner and like, come on, they had to have seen something, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I'm like, like they were so slick about it.
Or
And then
unless,
again,
like, when the power went out, it was just like, now.
yeah, it was just like, it was crazy, so crazy. And I'm like, and again, it was just well done, which, just helps me look forward. You know what I mean? Because who knows? Maybe some of that shit. Maybe they had um like they got Netflix people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Netflix is used to filming and doing the movies and all their shit. So maybe they were like, hey, we can send some of our people over again. It's like a collab effort, just to see how our crews work together. So when you make the transition over to our show or our stream.
Right.
So I mean, that would, I don't know. It's just, it was very interesting.
And a lot of questions to be answered.
Yeah, which I don't think we're going to get. Like, I just think we're just going to get fucked up shit for a little bit.
I'm down for that.
I mean,
It's been a past couple fucking fucked up weeks. I think I'm okay.
yeah,
A little bit more ain't gonna fucking hurt.
no, no. But it was intriguing. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
They sent out, I got the email the next day. get your Wyatt 6 gear. And I was like, oh no.
Oh, that's all right. The tribal chief has already told me. He's like, I'm so interested in this. I was like, I bet.
They got a
I'll have
couple.
enough
They
time.
got it. They took that photo of them at the end
I love that photo.
right before he blew out the lantern, and it was all of them in the frame there. They took that image and threw it on a shirt, and then they
That
got a
was
couple that says "Let us." They're still using the whole like "Let us in"
yep.
phrase. Um, and then there was a, and it's pretty cool the way they've been using a letter 6 as the S in some of their logo shits on their shirts too. And then that bird still, they're using that bird.
Fucking birds.
Uh,
Damn birds. I
so
really liked when he finally came out and they all got around him, and right before he blew out the lantern,
yeah,
did you hear that one woman scream, like, let's go, Taylor? Like,
yeah,
she was hyped, so fucking hyped about it.
yeah.
And the only thing that it fucked me up in a good way was to hear him, like Taylor, say, we're
We're
here.
here. Yeah,
I was like,
because that was probably supposed to be Bray's line.
it's supposed to be Bray. Because it's more raspy, like, we're here.
Yeah,
And I was just like,
but then I was
kind of
talking
got me
to
there.
I'm pretty sure I was talking to Levy about this yesterday or this morning. I don't know when. I I'm curious also. There's a lot of
I
curiosity
left
with
you.
what the hell happened. There's a lot of curiosity with this crew.
So why it's 6, bro?
Here's my thing. This was the story. This is the direction that they were going with Bray. We all knew that there was going
Yeah.
to be a new Wyatt 6. I'm curious on what his character and what his role was going to be in this group.
It probably would have been that new Fiend outfit that they were displaying.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, would he have been just again the reincarnation of the Fiend, or would we've gotten maybe the old original Wyatt 6 Bray?
The sad part is like, we'll never know.
I know, and that's the sad part. Like again, the other curiosity is we'll get an answer to at some point.
Yeah.
But that part, yeah, like because we were just saying, like there were some things that happened last night that like Howdy did, like blowing out the lantern, saying we're here, and that kind of stuff. I assume that probably would have been Bray's part,
Right.
like lines and role, and you know he had to do it
Yeah,
instead.
100%.
But it was like that. It would have been curious to see like how the whole thing would have run with him involved. I mean, I assume it probably would have went the same for the most part, but just a little
Well, like
different.
that guy in the documentary said that he was working on a new Fiend gimmick,
Yeah,
like before his unfortunate passing. So that's where my mind is going towards. Like he got them all together, including Howdy,
yeah.
and then he would have been in Taylor's position, like grabbing it or at least holding the lantern.
That's why I'm wondering if he would have maybe. But then again, would they have continued the lantern thing if he was alive? Because again, like you said, like that now the lantern's kind of like the spirit of Bray. So it's like, would we have had the lantern? Would the lantern been have been uh a first a gone like you know swept aside? Like okay, we've done the lantern thing. Like because he wasn't completely doing the lantern thing when he came back.
No, not really. Like not really at all.
So it's like you know
Yeah,
did they
it's an epiphany because like as much as we want to know, we'll
yeah
never know.
no unless we could know maybe once all this stuff comes out and they move forward with it maybe as some time goes on we'll get some behind the scenes like again a documentary or just some inside look from Taylor and what's his name, from here in Pittsburgh,
Yeah.
their friend, on what was Braves, what was, because again, at this point they were keeping everything kind of
Very.
quiet because they knew they were still using it. So they didn't want to give out any secrets.
And
Which
you know
I
he
did.
did all them fucking. He did all that masks. He had to him.
Oh yeah. And I didn't know that Howdy is not a creation of Braves.
No.
Howdy is a nightmare that Taylor had when they were kids.
Fucking wild, ain't it?
I'm like, damn, you just want to let your brother let that shit go. Like maybe he's an adult now, wanted to forget all about it.
Right. And now he brought his nightmare to life.
But
Like,
then because Taylor said he kept the journal, like, you know, like as a way to deal with these nightmares he was having. And Bray, I guess, read it at some point, or he let Bray see the journal, and Bray was like, automatically, right to his mind was like, "Oh, this would be a good."
a
Like,
good villain, yeah.
and he was like, "Yeah, like, like,
Right?
come on, big bro, like, what the hell?
Let me see if this works. Bang, here's Uncle Howdy now. It's like, motherfucker.
Well, you got to play the guy in your nightmares."
Right?
So, yeah,
Uh,
it's intriguing. And then last night was uh the the exact date that Bray came back.
really? Oh,
Yeah, there
yeah,
was.
Extreme Rules.
Yeah, so it was the same date, the 17th. And then also they said it's different but not different. Extreme Rules was the next pay-per-view after Clash at the Castle, and then this just so happened to be the first Raw after Clash at the Castle.
Right?
So there's all these little Easter eggs. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Hey,
Yeah.
there's just a whole bunch of shit going on. I mean, like I said, we still got Bloodline shit.
Right?
We now got CM Punk shit. Drew
There's a
quit.
lot of wrestling shit.
Drew quit. I don't know.
And I was like, we'll have to get to that. There's not enough time in today. Because we
No.
got to catch up people from us fucking 2 weeks of shit. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I even got a guest coming to the fucking backstage eventually. So, but we have another guest coming next week. We're on the ball. Like, those 10 days off were nice because I started getting in the groove of a little bit of things.
Yeah.
New little setup that'll be debuting next week. Um, so it'll be nice. It'll be real cool. Um, I'm not gonna spoil it, but Sam's here. So that's my one of my surprises, everybody. So I brought Sam back. Next week we'll have Kiana on, and we're gonna have probably another person in 2 weeks. So I told you it took me 10 days to figure this shit out. Too much drama, and we were gonna do it Monday, but then I lost power, and I wasn't doing a podcast in the fucking dark because that would have just been awkward.
And they've been creepy like wrestling, bro. You would have went right with the theme.
I know, but I'm okay. Because if it would have got a close up in me, you'd have saw sweat just dripping down my fucking face because my fucking entire house was 101 degrees. So I'm okay. Like, I'd rather do this. All right. Please believe. And if anybody sleeps with no air conditioning or fan on in the summer, yo, you're psychotic. You're
Hi, that's me.
well,
I
how
was waiting
warm
for
is
that
your
one.
house when you go to sleep?
What?
How warm is your house when you go to bed?
Pretty warm.
Is it 101?
I mean, I could sleep at 101. I'm not joking.
Get off my show. That's some shit. I can't. I swear, I stand on this. I'd rather be cold than hot any fucking day. Like you could cool
Hope
yourself down many like in a cold area. You can always wear a hoodie and warm yourself up. But after this week, I'm fucking done. I can't do this shit no more.
mm-mm.
Dude, today's not even the hottest. I think Saturday is the hottest.
Your guinea pig agrees, bro.
Yeah, she's a little hungry.
Yeah,
Deal with the heat.
I can't deal with this fucking heat, but apparently Samantha can.
I love the heat. Oh my god, it's this
No,
is my season.
See, as much as I sometimes will bitch about the heat, like it's hot. Like I'm not gonna lie, it's hot, but I'll deal with it. I'll get through it because I'd rather deal with heat than cold. It's not even so much the cold that bothers me. Like Paul can vouch for this. Like cold, me and cold get along. It's just like the snow and the other shit that comes along with winter.
Hmm.
But like the heat, like I'm cool. Like all right, I'll deal with some heat, whatever.
no, I
Yeah.
don't like the fact that if I'm fucking sitting there in 90-degree weather and somebody has like fucking 68 boxes to pick up, I want to murder them. Because when I'm done, I felt like I just worked out at a gym for like 4 hours.
Well,
Like they
that's what
got
Sid does on a daily basis. So get on her level, the low level.
apparently like I'm fucking dying. But I just keep thinking I'm like, I'll just keep losing more fucking weight because it's fucking ridiculous. It's nonsense. Like
And then it,
that.
and then it's too hot. You don't want to eat. So just a whole diet plan, dude. Just get on it. It's a
Right?
diet plan.
Apparently, it's the new summer fad. It's what are you doing? Fuck Ozempic or Trulicity or Jardians or Monjaro. I'm doing the summer humidity fucking
I'm on
diet.
Mother Nature, motherfucker. Mother Nature.
Hey, I'm still going running in the morning in this heat, so
Well, you're a damn psychopath because you're sleeping in the heat.
I'm gonna wake up. Katie Ka is gonna be like, we found this lady just laying in the middle
We
of the
found
street.
this woman. We found this woman dehydrated. Be like, my ass will be glued to my television. Like, show her little ass passed out, and I know it. I know it. I'll be like,
looking like SpongeBob out of water.
just out of water. I'd be like, damn, she was such a great person. Now she got dehydrated. She passed out.
like
Hey, just don't go bike riding. Motherfuckers getting electrocuted going bike riding.
I don't own a bike, so we're good.
All right,
Did you
then.
hear? Did you hear about the? I saw it on Instagram this morning. Again, there was more stuff for the podcast. There's a couple in Mexico where the whirlpool, like the hot tub, malfunctioned, and it electrocuted the husband, and he died. Like on a resort.
Well, that sounds a little suspicious that the husband got electrocuted and died.
Well, the wife jumped in too, and she's in ICU or something.
Uh huh.
All right,
She's
but
in witness. She's in witness protection.
now listen, she makes it. Then all of a sudden, I'll be like, that's one of them Dateline fucking Netflix documentaries I'm gonna have to watch.
She
I'm
only
gonna.
got electrocuted because she had to pull the fucking hairdryer back out of it to cover the evidence.
Meanwhile, there's like 48 people around them while this is going on. It's not in their room. It was like literally next to the swimming pool.
I don't know.
I mean, who knows? Who knows? But I
See,
saw
this
that.
is that's why I don't like going in like hot springs. Like I've never been in one, but I've had friends who are like, "Oh yeah, we visited national parks, went in, the hot note." God only knows what could happen. Mother Nature wants to take you off.
Yeah, right. If that hot spring is too fucking hot, well, I don't know. You might be okay.
Well, I
Or
might
you
be
might,
okay, yeah,
or you
but
might actually be like, no, this shit is too fucking hot. It ain't happening. No, but I mean, I've seen that too, where the hot springs are too hot, and then all of a sudden they
Mhm.
burn alive and the shit. No, I'm good. I'll be all
I
right.
mean, here's my thing though. Getting electrocuted, that's kind of like comes out of nowhere, spur of the moment. Like you're not prepared for that. If you're sitting in a hot spring and that shit is getting fucking hot, get out.
Right. But
If
then
you
there's them
die
that
in there, that's your own
like,
fault for fucking sitting there that long, cooking like a goddamn Thanksgiving turkey.
well, yeah, if you're a Mother Nature's fucking natural crock pot, I'm
Like,
pretty
so I
pretty
don't.
sure it's a
There's
bad
no
idea.
sympathy for people that are dying in hot springs. I'm sorry. unless you drowned, okay, I might give you. But if you die from being overcooked, that's your own fault.
Well, at least they're well done for cannibals if it's some fucking crazy country.
I mean, looking like the fucking 30-day-old hot dog from the gas station in the casket.
Yeah, pretty much. No, dude, if you're out in the middle of nowhere, you ain't making it to that casket. Those like the wild people will end up eating you, especially the cannibals. You're done.
Well,
They're just random stew inside of that fucking hot spring. Like, oh, look at that. Look, Gloria, we got dinner. That's how
just
easy it is.
fucking Yosemite
Well,
Sam and Bugs Bunny and shit, cooking them in the fucking pot.
Right? For sure. I love how we go all over the place. It's fucking great. Um, so if I'm probably the only one. I saw Inside Out too. It was great. I
Good
liked
for
it.
you.
It's cute. There's an anxiety attack. It's fucking hilarious.
see, oh my god, this is like, so I use the first one, Inside Out movie. I use clips of that to help my clients with their own emotions. So added in anxiety. Oh, so excited.
It's wild because like as we're watching it, I'm looking down at Brandy because Xander's in the middle of both of us. So I'm watching the movie and I'm like, tell me you're picking up on this
She had
because
no idea what was going on,
this
dude.
is clearly
She thought she was at In and Out. You took her to
yeah
the wrong
right.
fucking place.
Clearly, I was like, you're watching this panic attack, anxiety attack happen, and I'm sitting there going like, damn, she's 13. I was like, well, that makes sense. So then like as anxiety's running around the console and creating all this stir, like nobody can get in because your anxiety goes so much that you can't get a thought in. Like they broke that down so fucking well. But then of course, like Joy gets in, stops the anxiety attack. Like they all get together and
Way to
stop it.
spoil the fucking movie.
If you ain't watched it, that's on y'all. All right. And if you're watching the podcast, I'm sorry. Was I supposed to do like noises and sounds and like bah, bah, bah?
Yeah.
No.
You didn't tell people close your ears if you don't want to know.
No. I've been gone for about 10 days. I'm taking this back. Just whatever. You don't like it, don't listen, don't watch it no more. I'll cancel him, I swear to God.
I
But
heard
yeah,
that motherfucker.
it was really cute. I know they're doing a third one. It's probably supposed to be out like next year. So
Probably for like adults. Oh my god. Do you
that's
know
what I'm
how
hoping.
awesome that's gonna be?
And then like the first thing I thought of was like, oh, I bet you depression shows up.
Yes.
I wouldn't have a doubt in my mind, especially as soon as you're in that like end of teenage, like beginning of like your 20s. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if depression shows up.
Yeah, because they're
I
gonna
am.
open that movie with her parents dead. And she's got to. That's what she's traumatized, and now her new emotions got to deal with their parents being dead. Because it's a Disney movie, dude. Everybody dies in a Disney movie.
I know, believe me. I
Well,
know
then
that's
that
what
would be
all
a
the
good way to explore grief and
yeah.
loss.
See,
Plus, they're not even her real parents.
but they've been her parents this whole time. You come on, bro.
Yeah, but they don't even look like them. She don't look like them at all. Disney, I got a lot of fucking questions. All right,
Maybe she's adopted.
that's what I'm thinking. Like, honest to God, like because they said there was like when they're in like suppressed emotions, they're in this vault, and there's this one called Deep Dark Secret. And the first thing that popped in my head was because of the world we live in, that she's part of the LGBTQ community, and I'd have been like, oh, fucking right already. Like, we got it. Like, it's okay to be different. Like, we got it. But then, like, the Deep Dark Secret, then also I was thinking she's adopted. Like, that's all I kept recycling. But it was none of them. It was none of it.
Maybe she's a ghost, and it's not real at all.
This is just all, she's been dead for 13 years.
Disney's done fucked up shit. Who knows?
And she played hockey. It's all a figment of her imagination.
They had a girl turn into a fucking panda bear. I don't want to hear shit.
That they did. I mean, I don't know. I mean, again, anything's possible. I mean, look at Brave. The mother turned into a bear because of a witch. I don't know. Anything's possible.
Look,
But it was the most
if you're a
relatable with
Disney
that anxiety
princess, you're
attack.
guaranteed to lose at least one parent. Every Disney princess has at least lost one parent.
Or a prince.
Yeah.
Or that too. I mean, you know what I mean. Just the royalty family. Someone's dying.
Or maybe they lost both their parents, Anna and Elsa.
Hmm.
I've never seen that movie. Any of them. I'm a
Or
girl dad.
Frozen.
I'm a
Yeah,
girl dad,
Frozen
and
lost
I've
both of them.
avoided it. All these years, I've avoided it, and my
Well,
daughter was obsessed with it.
you know what you got to do, right?
Oh,
Just
I've let it go.
You gotta let it go,
I've
bro.
let it go, bro. I'll admit though, I do like me some Moana. That's a good one.
Yeah, they had a trailer for the second one when we went and saw Inside Out too. It was a little bit more in detail too, so I liked it. I'm excited to see it. I have a special connection with Moana and my gram, so that's why I want to go see it.
Your grand wasn't Samoan.
No, dickhead, she wasn't Samoan, okay? But she
She
was
is
like the grandmother
she is
in
a
Moana.
bull-fucking motherfucker.
You see the shit I deal with, Sam, on a weekly fucking basis, right? Even not even on a podcast, just what I fucking deal with. Her
Hey,
grandma's not Samoan. No shit. She's Polish and German.
what I bring to the
But
table.
it's that relationship. I get it.
We're about to get a divorce. That's fun. By the way, Eric,
Just don't come to
happy
me for the marriage
anniversary.
counseling between you two, so we're good.
Happy anniversary, Eric and Donna.
What?
I had to shout you out, bro. It's your anniversary.
His face.
Wait, what? It
Did you
is?
forget it's your
He's
anniversary?
like, what?
I didn't know.
Oh, oops.
Well, what can I say except you're welcome.
No, it's not welcome. I'm gonna have to. You got one of them poison apples from Snow White? I need one right now.
Nope, not at all. Because next thing you know, I was like, me and Sam are not going on trial for you.
Oh, come on.
Be like,
Give me
excuse
one.
me, Mr.
Give me one of
Chopek, your
them.
podcast between this time and this time. They're like, I don't know what you're fucking talking about.
Nope. That was my twin. I don't know what you're talking
I'll
about.
be like, I have no recollection. I don't recall that at all.
I need them good Trump lawyers. Sam, you got connections up here in the New York area?
Not with the Trump lawyers. No, sorry.
You know that Giuliani guy by any chance, real personal?
No.
I think he's in prison, isn't he? I don't know.
Dude,
I don't know. All I remember is that he was like what, governor when I was a kid?
The
Yeah.
mayor.
Mayor,
New York.
Mayor. Yeah. Hated
Mayor,
him.
and he was some part of the Trump establishment or whatever.
Yeah, whenever he was the presidential lawyer when Trump was in the White House.
Yeah, look how that got you.
Mm.
Not good.
No, not at all. Not at
Dude,
all.
like, you know, we don't normally talk politics, and I don't follow politics. But again, you know, I got the news on in the morning while I'm getting ready for work, and I saw this. It was like breaking news. So Biden's son got in trouble for gun charges or some shit. And then somebody interviewed Biden, and they were like, "So are you going to pardon him?" And he was like, "Fuck no, he's on his own."
That's what he says.
I was like, "Oh, come on, Dad." Like,
Well, I mean, I
you
personally don't
pardon a
think he
fucking
should.
turkey every Thanksgiving. You can't pardon your kid.
Well, think about
Well,
what
maybe he
else.
wants him to learn a lesson. I mean, I would do the same thing. My kids
Well,
got to
I mean,
learn.
That's
You
kind
gotta
of the
think
way he
about
put
what
it.
else he's
Was
done. Like he's fucking had like cocaine through the fucking White House. But I mean, who probably didn't in the fucking 80s? Reagan probably had some. But like
Nixon was? Look at that sniffer on Nixon, man. He was
100%. 100%. But like he's
no,
done
but
so
I
much.
just thought it was funny because it was like I guess everybody was expecting him to give this long explanation on like why and how he was going to pardon him, and he just was like, "Nope." Like just, I was like, "Oh, okay."
But like to Sam's point, maybe he wants to set an example. Like just because I'm president doesn't mean you're getting fucking pardoned. Like you're an
Yeah.
asshole. You're a dickhead. You shouldn't have did it.
Yeah,
Plain and simple. Like be a responsible adult. Be a responsible fucking adult.
yeah. People,
Yeah, people.
Sam, we're looking
Or
at
you
you.
know.
I know. I'm one of those. What can I say?
Fucking running in the heat. That's not responsible.
No, you're right. I am irresponsible because you know what I did, or what I did not. What I did, I went to a Chris Brown concert. Okay, and
Ryan, you just lost your white girl card.
So I went because it was my best friend's. Her daughter was turning 16, and I was like, we planned it for like the longest time, and it was the funniest thing because we're sitting there, and where the arena is, it happened in New York on Long Island at the Belmont racetrack. And if you don't know what the Belmont racetrack is, where all the horses go racing, right? So we're parked
I know the
in
Belmont racetrack.
So that's where we went. And my best friend's daughter was like, "What are we doing here?" And we're waiting in the parking lot, and we see Chris Brown's like tour bus come in. And yes, Eric.
You started talking about New York, and that fucking accent got so thick real quick.
In a fucking blink, bro.
Just saying. We know you have it, and there was a few little hints of it while we were talking. You brought up New York, that shit fucking. I thought I was in
If
Brooklyn.
you think about it, it's
I was like, yeah, damn.
As soon as she said York, it's just like run, go. Now let her finish. Son.
Go ahead, tell us about Chris Brown in New York.
Okay. So we're waiting across the street, like in this little parking area, waiting for the parking lot to open, and we see Chris Brown's tour bus come in, and we're like, "Oh, okay, we're excited with that." And my friend's daughter doesn't pick up on it, but instead we start seeing all the horses coming in, right? And she goes, "What are we doing here?" I was like, "We're going for the racetrack. We got all the horses. We're gonna bet. This is your 16th birthday present. It's gonna be awesome." She believed me. She fucking believed me. Okay. So we go in. The gates open at 6:30. I mean, the doors open at 6:30, and so we're there at like 6. And I'm looking around, and all these girls, I kid you not, are in these like short skirts, wearing absolutely nothing underneath. Their business is showing. Like, don't even fucking care. And I'm like, did I miss?
Concert.
I must have missed the memo because I'm all decked out in black, and I'm like, and was I supposed to show my business too? Like, what's going on? So then my friend's daughter goes, "What are we really doing here, Sam?" Like, she's starting to pick up on some things, and my friend looks at me, she goes, "You can tell her." So I was like, "All right, well, we're not here for the horses. We're not going to watch them. We're here for Chris Brown." And she gets all excited. She's like, "Oh my God, I can't believe this." And then all of a sudden, the reality sets in, and she stops and goes, "Oh my God, don't bullshit me." And I was like, "What?" And she goes, "I ain't cute enough for Chris Brown today. Do you see my hair? Do you see my clothes?"
You see these bitches?
Right?
You wanna,
And I'm like,
I gotta compete with this shit.
right?
Well, Sam, that's gonna be your wardrobe. You gotta dress like that, so you gotta let all the business out when you go see Scott and them and Creed. Like, that's how you gotta dress.
Like, I never in my life, I swear, there were more asses at this concert than anything. Okay? Like, I was sitting there just like, what? Like, okay, the difference is also they had this guy named DJ Fresh. Don't know anything about him, but apparently he's a really big, well-known DJ. And so he's like getting the crowd going, and he was very obsessed with the whole, like, if you came here with your best friend, if you came here with your girlfriend, if you came here with your sister. And I'm like,
He's like, I
get
get
it.
like you're at the club.
Yeah, he was. And then he starts playing this song, and I turn to my left, and there's this ass in my face. And I was like, what the fuck are we doing? This is nuts.
No, that's what JT. That's what happened to JT. He was at the Chris Brown concert, getting the swerve on. He saw a little too tipsy. Yeah, he got in the car, driving.
Goddamn shame.
Yep.
Like, that's even a part of the concert where Chris Brown literally had a scene where he was in the bedroom, and he had all his dancers climb on top of him and start like grinding him. I was like, this needs to have like a consent. Like, kids need to be able to have something signed before coming. Like, give me a warning.
Well, if you guys would have did that to me, I'd have been pissed. I'd have been like, "What? I thought we were here for the horses." Like, I want. I wanted to bet on Snaggly Tooth running the third. Like, I didn't know. Like,
Be like, dude, I mean, I put a trifecta in the fucking app, and this they ain't running. They ain't running. But scattered ass, oh my god, that's a kitty, and what the fuck is that?
Well, they did have races that day. We just didn't go and see them, even though they were right next door.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
That's
So
crazy.
my question is, if you turn and it's like, hey, and there's an ass in your face, did you put $1 like in the top of her skirt or something? I'd have been, I'd be like, well, I mean, I'm here. I'm like right here.
Like,
Because I
all I got
wasn't
is
wearing like panties or anything.
all I got is a 20. Can you break change? Like, I don't know.
If you make your ass clap, does it change into like a couple 5s and 1s?
I traumatized my kid. She came home the other day from work and she was like, it was so gross. This guy handed me money and it was like wet and disgusting. And I was like, yeah, that's because it was just fresh out of a stripper's ass. He came from the club. She was like, Dad, I had to touch that. And I was like, I'm just letting you know. Hope you
Like, honey,
sanitize.
that's what they make hand sanitizer for.
No, she said he was one of those old guys that licked his finger and counted the bills. And
Oh,
she said that,
no.
Still
yeah,
do that?
the money was a little gross. He
Yeah,
put it at the bottom.
all he had to do was like, he probably was like, eh.
Yeah, she said there was slaughter.
I bet you
Yeah,
they
it was-
weren't even fresh bills too, so that's even grosser.
yeah, she was not thrilled with it.
Ew.
Yeah, and then I made it worse, which that's what I do. I'm a
That's
dad.
what you do. That's why you're here. You know. I'm still thinking about it. Scattered ass being right here at Sam's face.
Like the woman was like right above, right? So like I'm sitting here, she's up here, and she turns so her ass is like, facing me, and she's twerking, and I'm like, what the fuck are we doing?
You should have bit her. You should have bit her.
I would have just turned and be like, "Look, bitch, I'm a little person, and I don't need your ass in my fucking face." Like, yo. But by the way, great twerk job. But no, fuck out of here.
I felt like I was in some sort of R&B like music video with all the asses around me, and I'm like, what the hell, man?
Yeah,
Look,
that
excuse me,
was.
we're gonna run this back on take 2. Keep them asses clapping.
Sam's like, I did not sign a waiver for this. Like,
No.
I was like, I'm thinking that's probably like, just again, it's out of like not necessarily like your comfort zone, but it's like nobody probably, especially like you, probably don't expect that.
no.
So then you probably leave and you're like, as the therapist, you're traumatized yourself. Like, what the fuck just happened in there, bro? Like,
Dude, if she'd have popped on the camera with a black eye right now, I'd have been like, damn. She'd have been like, yep, ass hit me.
the ass cheek jumped up real quick.
She twerked it a little too hard. Got a black eye at the Chris Brown concert.
Well,
If it was not an ass, it would have been somebody's tit, because seriously, they were not covered up here and they were not covered down there.
Yeah, that's
I bet 100%. Like, swear. Because I was looking, it was like popped up on Instagram, and I was like, who was that Chris Brown? I came down and I was like, get the fuck out of here. So,
I knew it was her right away without even having to look at the name and her little icon in the top corner, because when she was on here last, she was telling us about she was going. And I was like, oh, that was like, I mean, I kind of forgot about it a little bit, but I knew right away. I was like, oh, Sam was at that show. Like,
well, that's what I think. I was like who went to Chris Brown? Then I saw you and I was like, oh shit, okay. So then I went into your profile to see like if you had other photos of it, and I was like, oh damn, it looked like either the camera was a good camera, or you had DCC, or a combination of both. But now, knowing what I know, if there would have just been a video where it's like, yeah, having a, I'd have been like, dude, it's right in your face.
Like it was,
at her.
like the whole time, like I'm here. My friend's 2 kids are in between us, and she's over there, right? And like my friend at the end, like my friend's daughter at the end turns and she goes, "Wasn't it just so great, Sam? Did you have fun?" And I'm like, "It was an interesting experience. Yeah."
It's like I'm gonna stick to my Disturbed and Motionless in White and
Yes.
whatever else.
And that was the other thing too. Like her friend, my friend's daughter goes, "Well, Sam, like, what was different about this than the concerts you go to?" And I was like, "Well, first of all, the concerts I go to, the bands actually play all the songs. They don't just play snippets of it."
Sam's sitting there. She's like, first. Second.
Like, if I'm paying for my tickets, I want the whole song to be played. I do not want just a minute and a half of it and be like, "Yay!" No, I paid for my damn tickets. But like Chris Brown played 40 fucking songs. 40 fucking songs. And only 4 of them were actually the whole long song.
That's because he had to set up the sex scene in the bed with everybody getting on him.
I'm not gonna lie, he did a cool setup because he did each one in sections and he did it with like the 4, like the elements. Like he did earth, wind, fire, and air. And so each one he like did one with each. So it was cool. I'll give him that creative.
While you was at Chris Brown, they was here with Lionel Richie. It was Lionel Richie and Earth, Wind, and Fire down at the arena the other day. While you was up in New York, up there in New York, I just letting you know. I'm a little bummed out. I didn't get to go see Lionel.
Oh, okay.
I
Sorry.
go see Lionel. I had no problem with it. Now Earth, Wind, and Fire, I don't know. That's a whole nother ball game there.
Yeah, right.
There'd have been some ass and titties out that show too.
Hunter.
Probably not as much though.
Oh, there'd have been as much. But they just would have been. They wouldn't have been the young kids. They'd have been all the older women.
They'd have been the knockers touching their kneecaps and shit. But like,
throwing their panties up there for Lionel.
yeah, and they're nothing but panty panties.
Speaking of that,
oh God, there was
a part. There was a part in Chris Brown where he like suspends himself in the ear and he went across and he like landed on this like moving stage type of thing. And on the way back, okay, he was slowly coming across. And all of a sudden, as you see him in the middle, you see a woman literally on top of a man's shoulders and she threw her panties at Chris Brown. I was like, oh my God.
What's so funny is they do that at his. They either that or Bras. They do it at his. They do it at Drake. They do it at somebody else. It's like 3 of them that they do that. I was like, what if that was your good underwear?
Usher's probably seen some undies his way.
Yeah, I think it's Usher too. But I mean, like, what if you were like looking stunning as hell? You went out, you're having a good time, and you were like, damn, those are my $40 fucking Vicky's Secret underwear. That wasn't worth it. Like, it wasn't worth it.
No. And what is he going to do with it? Because he didn't grab those undies. He didn't take them. Some stranger took them. I'm not having no stranger take my good panties.
Right?
They're going to be on eBay.
No, but there's not like a collection of women's underwear, but like, this one's Atlanta, this one's New York. Like, no. They probably just throw them away. Or what do you think? You can go get them when the show's over? Those are the yellow sparkly ones. Those is mine. Those is mine.
Waiting backstage for him. You got my undies.
They donate them to the homeless.
Okay, the good deed.
Yeah, like why not?
So there's just a homeless man out there, and then yellow fucking bedazzled fucking. Be like, damn. Be like, you know what, Stevie, you're looking great. I love the yellow. I love the yellow. Brings out your eyes, especially the bedazzled fucking rides.
The homeless people don't complain. They take what they can get. And if you tell a homeless guy, listen, I'm gonna give you this pair of underwear. They was from a Chris Brown show. He'd probably be like, damn, that's some fancy pants. I'm gonna wear those.
Or more than likely, he's like, you know what, man, give it to him. Just let me run it over here. And then somebody's like, what? Be like, I know Chris Brown, okay? Now give me them fucking rhinestone underwear. Then all of a sudden, they'll be fucking downtown New York and be like, look, there he is. He's wearing them.
I told you.
Never
Look,
know.
whenever they're on our game show, when they're on the Homeless Bachelor, we're going to ask that kind of hard-hitting questions.
Be like, hey, do you have a pair of Chris Brown panties from fucking New York?
Not even Chris Brown. They could be anybody. It could be, who knows what kind of famous undies are being worn out there.
That's true. I mean, at least if you're gonna do it, like do it right. Whereas like some Walmart or Target ones, but even those are inexpensive underwear too.
Yeah,
Hmm.
let's not go there. I just had a whole battle about that.
You
About
bought sexy
underwear,
you bought
Yeah.
sexy Walmart underwear? Good
No.
job.
No.
Well, now you opened the door, so you might as well walk through.
right?
No, just a price that just I needed to upgrade the wardrobe, and
It happens. We're
I
human.
was like, what? I'm spending like, like 3/4 of my paycheck for the week on a fucking pair, like a package of that and socks.
Right?
And I was like, I was like, "All right, I'm gonna save a few dollars. I'm gonna buy this other pair, the cheaper pair. And I put one on, and my big toe went right through that motherfucker. Like,
And that was the end of that.
oh no, I tucked it back in the package upside down so they couldn't see it, and I returned it and said I wanted another pair.
Out of fucking boy. That's how you do it. Fuck them. Like I've never been so excited to get socks and underwear for Christmas as an adult now, where I used to be a kid and be like, "What the fuck is this?" Now I'm like, "Yeah, all right, I'll take it."
Hmm.
I learned not that I mean after today, who knows because I forgot something, but I learned from Donna's brother-in-law that like when he was having their wedding and stuff, he scanned like socks and underwears as part of the registry. Or like if you're having a baby and you're doing the shower registry, yeah, just
Yeah.
scan shit you want or need that you don't feel like paying for.
So that's actually what my sister is doing. She doesn't need like pots and pans and things of that nature, so she put on her registry like new clothes and socks and underwear and things that she needs.
I
Yeah,
mean, if
why
she
not?
already has the essentials, just go. Fuck it. Why not? Right?
Hmm.
What's
Yeah.
it gonna hurt? To give it a shot.
I tried scanning a PlayStation, but I got yelled at.
Yep. Sorry.
I mean,
I can't say maybe next time because that's just rude.
oh, it wasn't my wife that yelled at me.
Again, go through the door.
It was my mother-in-law.
Uh,
She was with us when we were doing the registry, and she was like, "You are not scanning that." I was like, "Well, why not?"
but if you have everything else,
Hmm.
why
Well,
not?
we really didn't. There was, I mean, you know,
I feel you.
newlyweds in their first home. There's shit you need. Like you need
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I mean, if people can go and create PayPals for whatever reason they want nowadays, or not PayPal, what are they? I
Go
had
fund
somebody
me.
the other day. GoFundMe, yes. Somebody created a GoFundMe. Okay, this was somebody that I saw on my Facebook, and they created a GoFundMe so that people can support their trip to Disney. And I was like, guys, if you can't afford, don't go. Like, I'm not giving you money to go to Disney. Like, it's not happening now.
And you gotta
Others
watch
I've
out.
seen.
If you do pitch in and you pitch in only a little bit, they'll confront you about it. You gotta watch.
Yes, yes.
It's some harebrainy shit.
It is wild.
Like I've donated to some who like lost their house in a fire, things where they needed that money. Yes, I've donated and they've had no
Like
issues. But
like Scooter's buddy. Like Scooter's buddy.
Yeah.
yeah, but
I
I've
found
seen Venmo. I've seen some out there where people are like, "Oh, well, I just can't pay my bills or I need extra money." I'm like, guys, it's called getting a second job if you need to.
or one for that matter. Just get one
Or
job.
what? I mean, well, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
crazy, bro.
People are fucked up. People are
Yeah.
fucked up.
Yeah, but that's the thing is like for that example there, like, all right, if you want to go to Disney or if you're trying to do, like I understand like trauma. I
Hmm.
understand like the house burnt down, you lost everything. If it wasn't in your control, I get it.
Hmm.
This is the most I'll talk about this.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, if you can control the controllable, then you don't need to GoFundMe. If
Right.
something happens out of the blue that you can't control,
Hmm.
fine. But if you're
Right.
trying to go to Disney so little Marcus can be there for his fucking 7th birthday in like December, then you know what? You have the
You
whole
don't.
fucking year to save to get Marcus to the fucking thing. Like, My God.
I mean, that's
Mhm.
just like, I mean, all the shit that we went through at the beginning of the year. Donna was in and out of the hospital. I was in the hospital. I was out of work from Christmas to Easter.
Mhm.
Not once that I like, oh please, like you said, you do what you got to do. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
and like Paul said, like, yeah, I get it if there's a traumatic situation that you you know shit happens. But yeah, when you're just doing it just because you're a lazy piece of shit, that's where you got to draw
Yeah.
the line.
Yeah.
See, but you also gotta be careful because this happened almost 2 years ago. An old friend of mine from New York, her brother was suffering from depression and decided that the nearest train tracks was the best thing to do.
Yep.
I know
And
about train
unfortunately,
tracks.
yeah. And so she was living in Michigan. She didn't have the money to get him cremated, didn't have any money to bring him home. So I started a GoFundMe, and thankfully she raised enough money to be able to get him cremated, get him home. It was, and she kept saying, "Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you so much." Like, and I thought everything was good. 2 weeks later, she completely blocked me on all social media. I have not heard from her since.
Do you know why?
Oh,
I have no idea. No idea.
that's
Weird.
I mean, but and that's a shame because it's like, and especially in that situation, like you knew the person and you were trying to be helpful, but it's just
Mhm.
like the state of the world nowadays, like it's and I think me and Paul talked about this before too, like it's just all about me. Like everybody's just
Mhm.
so worried about themselves, and it's just like, yeah, so she used a horrible situation to, probably get what she wanted. And that's just like,
Mhm.
they tell you like, oh, I died.
He's gone, so you just don't like it.
Um, no, I'm a little drunk, sorry.
Lies.
Yeah, it is. Um, like when these tragic shootings and stuff happen, these mass shootings, and then you get these scam artists that'll like, oh, I'm gonna take that situation and use it to my advantage, and they'll put out
Mhm.
fake GoFundmes for fake victims, or they'll steal a victim's name from the newspaper, and it's like, and you think you're helping, but then you come to find out, like, and it's a shame that you have to like triple and quadruple check, like, when you just
Mhm.
want to
And you
help.
have to sit there and validate
Yep.
everything, every I, every T, everything to make sure that
Yeah,
everything is fucking legit. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Before you even have the assumption or the notion, like, fuck, all right, I only got $15, but yeah, all right, sure, that's $15 coming out of your pocket. And if you're only giving it to them and they don't give a fuck about it, or even the
Mhm.
whole purpose of their GoFundMe, or it has nothing to do with it. And then after you sit there and you fucking bust your ass to get everything set up, get the ball rolling, you get that money earned for them or whatever, and for them to just in the Thanos snap block you the fuck off, their
Mhm.
mission is accomplished. They fucked you,
yeah,
with all due respect, but they fucked you.
They
That's what
did,
they
yeah.
did. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, they played off your emotions, and that's any of us.
Mhm.
And it's
yeah,
like, okay, we're vulnerable now. All right, I'll help you. I'll get this ball rolling for you. I'll do what I can. And then all of a sudden, you get smacked in the face because you were fucking nice about it. And then it
Yep.
yeah,
makes you not trust the next person and the next person.
Mhm.
And and then they wonder why we all have walls and we don't give a fuck about nobody. We don't care as society.
Mhm.
Um, do I need to say any more? Like it's just ridiculous. They
No.
don't. It's always something. It's always
Yep.
something. And then
And
it's like,
that's
well, this
why now
person
I
is
look at
good.
now that's why I look at half of these and I'm like, oh, okay. Sorry you're going through a really challenging time. Wish you the best. Hope for the
Yeah.
best for you, but I'm not donating. Don't know
My
yeah,
what to
thing is
tell you.
this: is it like I I have struggled. I'm very well now, but I struggled for 3 years here by myself, trying to make it as a single dad. I
Mhm.
didn't do no GoFundmes. I thought about it
Yep.
at my dad's, but I was like, look, there's got to be a way. This is not the solution because I know
Right.
I don't want to do this. Like, I know I don't want to do this. So eventually I was like, okay, I'm here, but I'm broke, but I'm not broke. I'm broke because I'm paying for the bills. I'm paying for the roof over our heads. I'm
Mhm.
busting my ass to get this shit done. but I can't go out. I can't go see
Mhm.
friends. I can't take Xander somewhere. Like the shit was starting to irk me a little bit. So then I reached out and like I started finding different resources for myself, like food pantries and donating plasma turned into one. And then shit got tough around like Christmas, and I knew about a church that was doing like an angel tree. They even paid for like groceries for us. Like, if you don't put the effort in to fucking figure out
Mhm.
all other solutions, if you do not figure it out and you just want to go, this is what I want to do because I don't want to put the work in. If you don't want to put
Yep.
the work in, I don't know what to tell you.
No,
I
Mhm.
really
and then the
don't.
same thing, and like, and I might have came off as like a joke, but I was being serious. Those are the same people that if you do donate or you throw them a couple bucks, whatever you might be able to spare, if it's not what they were expecting, they like get pissed.
Mhm.
Like you throw them, I can give you $25. Here's $25. Whoa, wow. But my goal's 3 grand. I need you to donate like a couple hundred, and it's like, no,
Mhm.
go fuck yourself. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
it,
You're absolutely right. Because if you sit there and it's like, all right, well, my goal is blah, 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 be like, all right, you'll get there. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? It depends on how you're doing it, how you're outsourcing it, what you're trying to do, and whatnot. But if it's just some cheap ploy to get 35 fucking $100, I'm not giving you the goddamn money.
well, that's what
Mhm.
I'm saying, and it's like you got to have a good cause, and it's like you're like Sam said, your cause to take a fucking family trip, or your cause is to, just whatever, just because you just want fucking money. No, there's got to be a good reason why you need the money. Like, and it shouldn't
Mhm.
always have to be a sad story, but a lot of times that's what it is, you
Right.
know. But, eh, you know, like you said, like with Mitch, like I've donated to them 2 or 3 times. It might not have been a lot, but I gave what I could just because they're
Mhm.
good people. We know the situation. We know it was a real thing. We weren't being like scammed or anything. And it was like, you know, I felt bad I
Yeah.
couldn't do more. But
Right.
then there's
But
people out there that you do what you can, and it's not good enough. And those are the
it's not
people you're
enough.
like turning my back on you.
It's not enough. But
Mhm.
if you sit there like somebody that has like stage 4 fucking mouth cancer, and as one of my cousin's his personal friend, and you watch him because you grew up with him, and you see him like, no offense, like deteriorating, going through the motions, having to quit his job, take his like leave, all this. All right, yeah, you know what I mean. Even though I can't, because like I hold on to any fucking thing I can, because I'm
Mhm.
just making it above water myself now. But Oregon helping Scott with things and whatnot, and just even sharing the post is cool. But I can't share it because Marcus wants to go to Disneyland.
Yeah,
I
Yep.
just can't. But it's just
See,
go on.
so like with my job, we get funds for each family we open for from from the state, right? And these funds are supposed to be used for in case, there's a bill that they can't pay, or if there's something that comes up, or if they're like, hey, I can't get groceries this week. Can you help out? Things that are going to be essential for them. I have families who come to me and they're like, oh, well, I need a pool pass this summer. Like, can you just give us the money for a whole pool pass for the whole summer? No, because that's not what you need. You don't need a pool pass. Let's work on getting those needs met. And then they would get mad at me. Well, that's my money. No, darling, it's not your money. That money's coming from the state, and the state wants to know where that money's going to. I can't sit here and lie and risk my job so that you could go get a pool pass. Like,
Yeah,
and
do they
then,
not realize that it's a record? There's books. They have to keep this.
yeah.
Like, they don't understand. It's just not that simple. It's just
Hmm.
like, no, here's your money. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like when I think I couldn't pay a gas or a light bill. I can't remember. I think Brandy remembers. But I asked the church and they vouched. They helped me out.
Yep.
And they were like, okay, well, it's this. And they were just asking what was happening. And I was like, well, the jack in the lot ran up and I have to put more money into that. And I don't have it for
Hmm.
this. And I was like, I just don't want to be late and then I get charged a late fee. And then next thing you
Hmm.
know, my shit's getting shut off. So they were like, yeah, sure, we'll help you. She was like, it could be worse. You don't need Kennywood passes. And I was like,
Yeah.
no, no. I want my shit on. I can give a fuck about
Mhm.
Kennywood. If I can
Yep.
afford Kennywood or a trip or something like that, that's on me. I got it.
Mhm.
All I give a fuck about is like the lights or shit being turned on or whatever. Like
Yep.
We
the
we
day to
have
day.
that we have that kind of at work, like so like with your bills, like if you got a termination notice or whatever, you both might know this, like your doctor can help you like get a delay on the shut off. Like we
Yeah.
don't give you
Mhm.
money, but we just help delay it so you don't get
Right.
shut off. And we get so many families like uh, they call and you feel bad for the kid because it's like obviously it's a pediatric office, so you feel bad for the kid because it's like I don't want the kid to have to not have electric or not have water or gas or whatever
Mhm.
because their parents an idiot, you know?
Right.
But these are the same parents that they'll get mad at us because like before the pandemic happened, like there was a cap on it. Like you could only ask like twice a year for a utility to get help. But once the pandemic and then there was all those rules and stuff, like it kind of jacked stuff up. But they'd get mad at us, like, well, why can't I? Like you've already used your two for the year and we're only into February, you've already used two. Like there's nothing I can do
Mhm.
about it. Like so like they get mad, but then these are the same people that come into the office for their kids' appointments or whatever. They got on the new Jays. They got them a little Coach
Yep.
bag. You know what I mean? And
Yep.
it's just like, well, where'd that? How'd you? Oh, that's right. We delayed your bill for you, so that got you some extra money in your
Mhm.
pocket. So you went and
I had a family way back, probably about a year ago, who I had first opened with them. And within probably the first 2 weeks, the family member comes to me and says, I can't pay my phone bill. Can you help me? And I was like trying to find other resources for her. Maybe you can find somebody else, you know. She would not go with it. So finally I go and I was like, well, how much is your phone bill? And she's like, oh, it's $800. So I go and I talk to HR, and HR is like, that's well above what we give to these families. And they were like, we'll make an exception because this is her only means of communication. And if there's a crisis or an emergency, like she's going to need her phone. So they pay the bill. So about a month later, the family member comes back and says, well, I need this. And I'm like, well, you've already exceeded your funds. Like, I cannot provide you any more. She got so pissed off of me. She starts telling me, saying I'm useless, telling me that, like, I don't care about anyone, anything. She will figure it out. Right? My next session with her, not only does her daughter have new braids in her hair, her daughter has new Jordans, and they have the newest iPhone. But you couldn't pay your $800 bill.
Funny how that works, huh?
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's crazy. It is so crazy, and it's just again, me and Paul have talked about it on here before. Just the way that I don't even want to say like the new generation. There's definitely a generational twist, but it's just society in general. And again, it leads back to the me. I'm only worried about me. Like I want, I want, I want. And they don't care
Mm-hmm.
because they don't want to do the work or they don't want to put out the effort or get a fucking job
Mm-hmm.
to have this lifestyle that they want.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the thing at the end of the day. Nobody wants to put in the effort. You could sit there, bitch, moan, and complain on every social media platform that you want to,
Mm-hmm.
all across everything, day in, day out, 13, 14, 17 times a day or whatever. You could do whatever you want. It's still not going to get you what you want. It's not.
Mm-hmm.
If you go out, put the work in. I know getting a job fucking sucks. I know it's hard. Everybody's hiring. You can't be stubborn and you can't be like,
Mm-hmm.
well, I don't want this. Well, I don't want this. You gotta fucking do something. You have
Yeah.
to do something at the end of the day. Or people that start their own business or whatever. Put the work in to get the business off and running. Don't fuck around. Don't take
Mm-hmm.
time to slouch. Like get your shit moving
That
and
together.
make it
Yeah.
better. If you put the
Mm-hmm.
fucking effort into it, it gets better.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I've been trying to do my clothing line for the longest in my own brand and shit for the longest time now. I mean, it's been years.
Right.
And
Mm-hmm.
there've been a couple hiccups in the road and then, some financial hiccups and then like everybody else, pandemic hiccups, like, it's just like there's just been shit and then, you know, it was kind of like it got to that point where I just was like, you know what, fuck it, like I'm done with it. Like, you just get frustrated.
Hmm.
But then I was like, no, like, that's not how I am. That's not my work ethic. That's not what I do. Like Paul said, like, I put in the work, I put in the time. Like, I went through all this shit to get it started. Like, I just can't act like that time and what money I did put into it is just gone. Like, no, like, I got to keep
Right.
pushing forward. So it's like, and again, like, people don't, it's just, my mom always says that, like, me and my sisters, we talk about our jobs and stuff, like, in our family chats and that, like, what we're doing and this and that. And then, like, me and my one other sister, we both work in the medical field, and she, I don't know, within the past year, I guess you could say, got promoted, and she's got a new, like, higher up management job. And then, like, I doing what I'm doing now. And it's like, my mom's said, she was like, you guys, like, I'm proud of you, like, as my kids, like, not just because, I'm being a parent, being proud of my kids. She was like, but you guys, like, my mom knows the work and the effort that we put in to get those promotions.
Hmm.
And it's like, and again, that all leads back to, like, if you want to live a certain lifestyle, or you have these, like, goals and aspirations for what you want your life to be,
Hmm.
and that obviously the money is what makes the world go round, as they always say, like, you're gonna have to do shit to get to that point. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to live like this high glamorous lifestyle, but I want to live comfortably. Like, I want to be able to just provide on a normal basis, and like,
Hmm.
not have to. And if me having to get a promotion to get more money is what I got to do, then I'm gonna bust my ass to do it. And that's just the
Hmm.
way it's the way it's always been. Like, Paul, like, I've always
Yeah.
worked my way into management somehow, some way, and it's just like, because I know that's what I got to do, for one, to make myself, like, because, like, it's self, uh what's the word I'm looking for, like, you know I don't know, makes me feel good, like, I'm doing
Self
good, like,
confidence.
yeah, like, self-confidence. And then it's like, and then on top of that, hey, there's a money perk that comes with that shit.
Hmm.
Right.
So it's like, fuck yeah, that's what I got to do. All right, that's what I'm gonna do.
Right.
See, that's one reason why, like, I've kind of given up on dating, is because every time I've met a guy, and every time we hit it off or talked, they'd always be like, come see me, come see me, come spend time. And I'd be like, I have a weekend job. And I would always get the whole, boo, ew, really? Why do you work so much? Why aren't you working so much? That's my question. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
dude, I'm doing what I need to do. Like, okay, I love being a therapist, but it doesn't pay the what I need at the moment. Like, and I need a second income to be able to make sure all my bills are paid, to make sure I'm living comfortably. Okay, I bust my ass off of both jobs. I just got a bonus at my therapist job. In about 1 month, I will officially have my license, and from there, I'm hoping to open up my own practice. Like, yeah, like, but if I gave up on that and just sat there and said, no, you're right, I should be spending all my time with you and not busting my ass off to my goals, like, I wouldn't be where I am. And that's where, when I hear, like, so many people be like, oh my God, I get it. It's challenging. It's hard. Like, I work with so many people who are struggling. I get it. But at the same time, I see so many who are just like, I just want other people to give me a hand up, and I'm going to
Yeah.
survive that way. I'm like,
And what's crazy is
no.
there's so many fucking people that are more on that end of that spectrum, where it's like, I'm not doing this, somebody's gonna give it to me. I'm not doing
Hmm.
this, somebody's gonna help me out. I'm not doing this. And the worst part is eventually that well runs dry.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
then you're fucked and you don't know what your next move is. And you're gonna freak the fuck out and have a fucking panic attack, anxiety attack. Not really trying to reference Inside Out 2, but I mean that's what fucking happens.
Yeah,
Hmm.
but
All
then,
your shit's gone, but you have no plan. You have no plan now. But you had
but
all this time to think of one.
those people never learn from that situation. They just get mad, and it's everybody else's fault.
Hmm.
They never did wrong. They weren't at fault for any of their, you know, bad decisions. It's
Hmm.
always
Yeah.
everybody. It's always everybody around them, and it's like, hey, you're
Yeah.
on your own. Like, you're on your own. Like there's not,
Yeah.
like, those are the people you can't talk sense to. Like, you can't get them to
No.
understand, or to see, you know. And it's not like, you know, some of these people you just want to talk like, well, listen here, asshole.
Hmm.
But sometimes there's people that you want to talk to that you're trying to give real advice to, but they don't want to hear it.
Hmm.
And no matter what you say or what you do or however you approach it or however you come across, you're going to be the bad guy. No matter
Hmm.
how you try, no matter what you do, no matter how much effort you put into it, no matter
Hmm.
what, you're going to walk on eggshells with that person because you're afraid that no matter what you say, what you do, it's to the point you just don't fucking want to tolerate it anymore. And you just back the fuck out and bow out gracefully. And then
Hmm.
you watch everything around you just go nuts.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing I always work on with my clients, because I have my clients who are like, well, I feel like I'm always walking on eggshells because of my mother, or my family member, whatever the case. So that's why I always let them know, like, this is why boundaries are important. This is why, because the boundaries are put in place to protect you, not to please others. And if other people cannot respect your boundaries, that's where it's time to leave. That's
Right.
where that they're no good. You need to walk away.
Right. And if you have to, and it might fucking hurt like hell,
Mm-hmm.
and you might not be happy with the outcome or the decision, you will feel so much better
Much
knowing
better.
that you do not have to deal with that no more.
Yep.
And that's just anybody with dealing with anything like that. It's just
Mm-hmm.
you don't need that cancer and that toxicity in your. If we're all
Nope.
going through the same shit, we're all
Mm-hmm.
going through it. It's just we all handle it differently.
I
We
don't know.
know that we have to get out there, bust our ass, fucking do what we got to do. That's
Mm-hmm.
it. And I mean, I'm not saying like times get tough. People go through shit. I get it. But
I'm about to get fucking tough on this dog real quick. I'm not an animal abuser, but
right, next thing
it
you
might
know, we'll
pop
all
up
be
on the
canceled
camera.
because they'll think you fucking abuse dogs. And here we go.
This fucking dog just stood here, stared me in the eyes, and pissed on the floor. Paul knows my dog quite well, so he
I,
knows what I'm dealing with here. She
I,
literally
I
she just stood there looking at me like, what are
Oh,
you gonna,
and
what are you
she
gonna do about it?
tested you. She
She's like,
so tested you.
what
well,
are
I
you
told you,
gonna do
bro. I
about it?
think your dog's just on drugs. Like, I think there's just something up with your dog. Your dog is that poor thing. Like, she's tiny. She shivers all the time. And your house isn't even that cold. Like, she's just
No,
on
it's her.
shivers.
She needs that fucking guy. What's the whisperer guy?
She needs Jesus.
Caesar Milan guy. She's about to meet Jesus. I'm telling you. No, and we like this is, I don't want to say the worst dog I've ever had. Like, I mean, she has issues and we don't know what exactly they are and why, because we got her when she was a brand new puppy. So she's like, we're the only
Hmm.
family she knows. And this is the only dog that I've ever owned with Donna and Jane that was spoiled. Like this dog, like all of our other dogs were like crate trained. So, like when we would leave the house, they knew they had to go in their crate. Like, just that was their thing. And, they were trained to go to the bathroom outside, the whole 9 yards, just typical dog shit, like typical pet training. Oh no, this dog doesn't have to sleep in a cage. This dog gets to sleep in a bed with either Donna or Jane every night for bed. She was just babied and spoiled, and I don't even want to say that that's why, because it's not that she's bad. Again, Paul can tell, like, it's not that she's a bad, horrible dog. It's just that she has some of the worst anxiety that I've ever seen,
Hmm.
even in a human. Like, I've never even seen a human this bad before. Like,
Like
she's
Sam,
just,
she fucking shakes. She'll
yeah.
shake for no fucking reason. And the
I
minute
opened
you
it,
get up, she's like,
yeah, and
Aw.
she's never been again. We're the only family she's been with. She's never been abused. She's never, like, this dog gets treated like so well. Like she gets. We don't feed her people food, but like she gets little snacks every once in a while. Like, if I'm eating uh like a Ritz, like a Cheez It, I'll toss her a little
Hmm.
Cheez It, or I'm making a sandwich for like lunch the next day at work. I'll throw her a little corner of the cheese, like dumb stuff like that. Like she's never eaten like real people food.
Yeah.
And it's just like our other dogs, none of them ever got anything like that. So I say this dog is so spoiled, and she just like I just got a new phone case from Amazon, and it came in one of their like those like paper bubble bags, but it's like the
Yeah.
paper, the
Mhm.
brown paper one.
You can fit
Yeah,
your dog.
yeah.
I ripped it open, and you thought I would have fucking set off a shotgun. She went. She you. I can't. A can of pop. The cracking of a can of pop. She freaks out.
Yeah, like
Like
she gets so traumatized so fast, Sam. That's crazy.
yeah, and it's like we don't understand why. Like she always has to be laying with somebody. Like even if we're just sitting in here watching TV, like she has
Mhm.
to be either on Donna or Jane's lap, like touching. She has to be touching somebody,
Yeah.
and it's just
Oh
like,
wow.
and I mean we've been told because like my sister like is a vet and stuff, so it's like we've had her checked out. Like like the dog gets Benadryl twice a day just to try and keep her somewhat calm. It's
Aw.
like the next step is we're gonna have to like start giving her weed or something. Like,
I told you when I was there, you give that
I've
dog a
had.
1,000 milligram edible, she's fucking snoozing.
well, we've given
I
her
was
these
gonna
like
say. I have
natural
families
edibles.
that I know. Yeah, I have families who give their dogs CBD.
Well, my mom does. She gives it to her dog. But it's like she just I don't know why. And oh, but so what they were telling us is it could be her mixed breeds. She's kind of got
Hmm.
like a Jekyll and Hyde. So she's half Jack Russell, which is a high strung, wiry dog,
Yeah, they are. Hmm.
and then she's half Chihuahua. Which, when I thought of Chihuahuas, I'm like, yeah, they're also a high strung, wiry dog. Like that's too. My sister said no. Actually, that's just their temper. They're just little assholes. Chihuahuas are actually very laid back and lazy dogs.
Huh.
She can't
She
figure out
said
which one she wants to be every day.
so. Yeah, that's what she said. Like, because she would have spurts where she would just be running around, running around, and running around. And then there'd be a day where she didn't do shit and she just laid around the house. And my sister said it's like Jekyll and Hyde. Like she doesn't know who she wants to be, what dog breed she wants to let loose today.
Right?
So
Maybe she has
I,
bipolar disorder.
probably she fits in well here then. But like she just I don't know. But so that's the thing. So our dog, she won't go outside to go to the bathroom. We have to do the whole potty pad thing in our house, which drives me nuts because I hate, you know, dog stuff in the house. Like that's supposed to
Yes.
be outside.
Hmm.
Like, and it's just like she won't even step foot out the door. Like she is so scared of the outside world. And it's like, we don't know why. Because when she was a puppy, she was fine. It wasn't until she got to like her first, like she turned like a year old, then it all went
Hmm.
downhill. When she
Right.
was a puppy, she was she was starting to learn to go outside. She was being okay. Now she won't go outside for anything. That's why like Paul and them come over. I don't worry about her. She runs to the door. I know she's not gonna go outside. Like she'll just go greet them at the door. She waits for Xander, and then Xander's her buddy for the rest of the day.
Until Xander didn't want to play with her this last time. Xander was like, in his teenage feelings, like he was like, "Go, dog, go,
Yeah,
go." And then the worst part is she's coming back with the toy, and Xander's looking at her like in his mind, he's like, "Bitch, what I just tell you? I
yeah,
just told you I'm good." And then she's barking at him. He was like, "Okay, dog, go, like go." He wasn't having a part of it, and she's looking like, "What the fuck? I thought we were cool. Like,
yeah,
what the fuck?" And then she's just looking at him like, "Well, this is fucked up." The
yeah,
dog just went back to doing her thing. But then she kept barking at him, like trying to get his attention. And he was just not having it. He was just like, "No, I don't want to play with you." And I felt bad. But I mean, at the same time, I'm like, I'm sorry. He just didn't.
No, it's. I mean,
He's a
I've
teenager
looked,
now. So,
and that's the thing is like our dog. Anybody that comes in the house, like she's very, you know, nice. Like she has no problem being around people. Like she's
Hmm.
not scared of people. That's the one thing she's not scared of. Like if somebody breaks in, she's not attacking them. Any even not just us, like me and me, Donna and Jane. Like anybody that comes over. Like Sam, you could walk in my door. She's gonna greet you at the front door, like not even barking, almost like whining. with her rope. She loves rope bones. With her rope bone going, hey, you're a new person. Play with me.
Yeah, 100%.
That's her MO. Anybody. So if somebody robs us, she ain't protecting anybody. Not protecting anybody.
No, she'll have the robber play with the fucking rope bone enough so it's
Yeah.
like,
Right.
so
Close
all of a
enough to
sudden
distract
you'll
them
be
so
come
I
down the
can
steps, you'd be like, are
shoot
you
them or
playing
something.
rope
Like,
bone?
yeah, like she just, yeah, she has no fear of people whatsoever. She does not care.
But see
But
that like
Mm-mm.
that's the opposite with Brandy's youngest dog, Gemma. I'm thinking the dog because I mean because of my schedule and everything like that. I still haven't been to Brandy's place. I'm going this summer, but she'll tell me stories about Gemma. Like her mom will walk in and Gemma goes behind the steps. Gemma goes in her cage. Like she just we don't know if it's like a PTSD or maybe she was in fact abused from the previous owner or whatever. But the only person she really like will come out for will be Brand. But at the same time, like Brandy has like a dog sitter, Sam. She'll come over and
Mhm.
when she recently came over, she had like a fucking hat on. And Gemma was just took back, like, who the fuck is this? And then
Mhm.
like just scared the fuck out of Gem so bad that she fucking ran away, like and went and hid by fucking Brandy's shed. Brandy was sitting right here on the fucking couch and was like, they can't find Gemma. And I was like, well, what the fuck? And ironically, her dog sitter's name is Sam, so or Sammy. And she's like, Sammy just texted me and was like, she can't find Gemma. Like she had her run outside. She wasn't on a leash, but they've got cool with each other.
Mhm.
So Sammy didn't think nothing of it, but then like again, she wore that hat, which fucked her all up. And then Brandy had to leave here, drive an hour back home, and then next thing you know, she's like on her driveway or whatever walkway. She sees her. She had to like coax her back in, and I was
Mhm.
just like, dude, I couldn't. I would just feel bad. Like I feel
Yeah.
bad when she's gone for that little bit, but if if the dog I don't think was like abused or anything like that. If it wasn't, it'd be a different circumstance. Because her other dog, Rogue, don't give a shit. You know what I mean? All right, see you, Ma. You'll be back. The other one's like, where you going? Where you going? Don't leave me. And I mean, I feel bad, but at the same time, I'm like, again, I'm not the biggest animal person, but if somebody fucks up a dog and it causes that much of a fucking PTSD and like just that trauma, like you feel bad for the animal. It doesn't matter what kind of animal. It's just like now that animal ain't coming around. Like
and
Mhm.
that's my thing. Like we've rescued dogs before, and it's like, so I understand. Like if she came from a bad situation, I'd be like, okay, I get why she is the way she is.
yeah,
This dog has been living the fucking life of, you know, that life we were just talking about. She's living it.
yeah, right.
She's living it. Like there's even for the longest time, like she would go like, if I had to go pick up Dawn at dialysis. All right, get in a car, let's go. You go for a car ride, like you know what I mean. Like
Mhm.
take her with us because I'd feel bad leaving her home because I knew she'd probably be panicking. And now she gets car sick, so car rides have kind of slowed down. So it's like,
But yet she has the audacity to look you in the eye and piss right in front of you,
yeah, yeah.
right? Because it's like you think I'm gonna go outside. Think again, I'm pissing right now.
Nope.
Well, here's the even bigger kicker. She was 4 or 5 inches away from the goddamn potty pad and didn't even act like she was going to use it. Just pissed right next to it, like, yep, fuck you. This is what you get.
Looking at you like, stop.
She did. She did.
You cool with this? Because I'm pissing right here.
And then
You
as
may
soon
as
as
well
she
do
got
it to
done
the
doing it, I
body.
don't know if you saw me like lean forward because she knew as soon as she got done, she was like, all right, now he's going to get me. And she took off. Like,
Yeah. She was like, my work here is done.
so it's like she knows that she did wrong. Like, I mean, that's what I mean. Like, the dog's not dumb. She's a very smart dog. Like, I mean, Jane Jane trains her like when she gives her a treat, Jane will tell her, do your little dance before she gives her a treat, and she does this little twirly spin thing, like it almost looks like she's chasing her tail. And then she'll give her a treat. Like she's a very smart dog, and I'm like, you're just a stubborn little bitch. Like
Mhm.
like Jesus Christ. Again, I had a fucking 7-year-old 300-pound wiener dog with one eyeball that was the most behaved dog I've ever had. Like,
It's
that
because
fucking dog, and he came from a bad situation.
your
Like,
wiener
that's how,
dog was moonlighting as a fucking pirate. It had a fucking patch over its eye, being Captain Jack Sparrow.
yeah, I was gonna get him one, but Donna said no.
That would have been fucking awesome. Look, does that dog have a fucking eye patch? That's dope.
Yeah, so
I'll
he
fuck
just,
with that dog. That dog's seen some shit.
or half some shit. Like, he couldn't
Uh,
see all of it.
I mean, he's been through a war if he ain't got a fucking eye. You know?
It was just always fun telling people that I had a one-eyed wiener.
That took me a minute, but I got
You're like, that's a great conversation starter. You're like, so by the way, you want to see my one-eyed wiener? Be like, oh, look, it's on the phone.
And his name was Oscar, like Oscar Mayer.
That's great.
Oh my god.
That's
I
fucking
didn't give a.
awesome.
That was his name. That was his name when we rescued him. So we could, again, a 7-year-old blind dog. Like, I couldn't change his name. Like, there was no way.
No.
Well, if
And
you think about it,
and
the previous owner had the same fucking intentions that you did, obviously.
probably. And then at that time, Jane was only 2 when we got him, and that was one of the reasons we got him is because he took to her very well. He was very, very like protective of her. Like, like one of those, like you see it like in movies and stuff. But like everywhere she went, he went. Like, he was always by her side. And he was like that from the very beginning. So we were like, that's our dog. Like, we knew that was the dog we were getting. But anyways, she could say Oscar because she loved watching Sesame Street and Oscar the Grouch.
Mm.
So that was another reason that I was like, okay, we can't fuck up the dog, and the kid can say the name, so it's just going to be off. Like, that's his name.
Right?
So yeah, I mean, he lasted a good while.
Well, I mean, yeah.
He made it till he was 12.
That's pretty
It's a
fucking
good age.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is.
for a 300-pound fucking one-eyed wiener dog, I would say so. He was huge. Like, I was like, that's not. I had to ask like 5 times if that was really a wiener dog, and they're like, yes. And I'm like, he doesn't. He almost looked like a corgi, like a short-haired corgi, which I've never seen a short-haired corgi, but like that's the kind of body shape that he had, and it was just like, what the hell? And they were like, he just again his previous owners like they were like pet hoarders, one of those situations, and the
Yeah.
humane society had to go in and like take the pets. And that was the thing is like I don't know whatever happened they had to remove the eye, and then he was just heavy, like he was just because they were just given like bowls of food and they were never like put on like meals.
Yeah.
So we took him down there for we would take him back down for like that's where they would do his vet stuff at. And we slimmed him down, and they were like, they don't even look like the same damn dog. And I was like, yeah, because he doesn't eat whatever he wants. Like, we got, and that's what I mean. Like, this dog, like, I've always, because I mean, Paul knows, like, I grew up, my parents bred dogs, and so did Donna. So, like, her parents, she grew up with Rottweilers. Her parents bred Rottweilers. And my parents, growing up, they bred cows. So we both grew up around big dogs that, can have vicious tempers if they wanted to.
Right.
But so we knew how to train and work with pets like that. And it was just like, so that's just how I've always done it in our house with our pets. And this one just is a little prick. So I don't know.
But what I wanted to go back and touch back on is
No, we're not.
Shut up.
Moments passed. Move on, dude.
Well, you were too busy. Your dog was pissing in front of you, having a fucking moment. So, yeah. See, look, now you go check it or whatever. I don't know. What weirdo.
I don't know. I lost a. All of a sudden, I became home alone. I don't know how that happened.
I mean, sometimes it's a good thing. I'm home alone right now.
Yeah.
I'd imagine so is Sam.
But you know where your kid and girlfriend are. I know where my kid is. I don't know where the wife went.
I don't know where my girlfriend is right now. I know she was at dinner with a couple of her friends.
Shit. Shit.
My kid's in these streets anymore, man. He's like getting cool with the neighbor friends now. He got girls in his phone. I was like,
Do you
What the
both
fuck?
remember, maybe, because I remember this as a kid, where it was like the news came on at 10 o'clock, and the first thing they would say is, it's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your
Do you know where
children
your
are?
kids are? Yeah.
Fucking right. And then
And
he
that
did
would
hit,
come right on. I'd be like, do you know where your children are? I'd be like, yeah, right here.
Yeah.
and
Right?
then it would hit like, what was it? I don't know, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., and then the fucking national anthem would play with a picture of a flag on the screen.
Yeah, and then that
Yeah.
would be the end of it.
I'm like, okay.
Well, that's how I knew we had to go to bed on like Sundays, like as we got towards like high school, because you would see like Mama's Family would be on or like Night
Mm-hmm.
Court or some shit, and then all of a sudden be like, "This is a message from the New Heart Hair Clinic." I'm like, "God damn it!" Be like, "Ah, God damn it!" Like, 'cause now they're gonna do a show of this random shit, and like, I might as well go to bed. It ain't fucking worth it. Yeah, I
Uh,
fucking hated that shit.
I found there's a one of the retro. Oh, TV Land. That's what I like. 'Cause I'm one of the people like I have to have the TV on to go to sleep.
Yeah,
Mhm.
And but if I wake up in the middle of the night, like he just said, like I don't want to wake up to a fucking infomercial.
Mhm.
TV Land doesn't do infomercials.
do you sleep with it on all night?
I mean, yeah, I have like the timer thing on, so it'll like go into stand. It doesn't shut off, but it'll like go into like screensaver mode.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
And then YouTube, because I have YouTube TV, and they do that thing like Netflix and some of the streaming services do, where it's like
Are you
if
still
you
watching?
don't do something for like a few hours, it'll
Yeah.
like they don't ask the question, "Are you still watching?" They just pause whatever the fuck it was you were watching. They're like, you know what? Maybe he fell asleep and wants to finish this. We're gonna pause it right here.
They're just like, you're done. You're done.
So when I wake up in the morning and I turn the screensaver off and I turn the TV back on, it's always what is it? Uh oh, that old obviously an old show. It's on TV Land.
It ain't New Heart Hair Clinic.
No. That mom. It was it's that show. What was it? Mom. It was with yeah, it was called Mom, wasn't it? I don't know.
Mom
Yeah, the chick from the blonde chick that was with
with
her.
Anna Faris, and
Yeah, yeah, her.
she's a
Yeah,
recovering
that's
alcoholic.
mom.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
Mom.
yeah, that show. That show's always on, and it's just like frozen on a part of the show. But on the side it says, "Do you want to continue watching or do you want to go to live TV?" And I'm like, I guess I'm going to live TV. Like,
Meanwhile, it skips way past Mom, and it's something else. You're like, oh shit, all right,
I just turn on again. That's when I turn on the news and see what fucked up shit happened overnight.
right. That happened to me on because I was in the middle of watching House of the Dragon when the power went off, and then I was like, okay. And then I went to work the next day, and I had somebody ask me like, "Hey, did you see?" I was like, "Shut up!" Like, shut up.
Mhm.
Because I was like, I haven't watched it. I don't have power. I was like, I got a chance to watch like a couple things, and I was in the midst of literally like 10 minutes away from the end of it, and I was like, motherfucker. And I was so tempted to like watch it on my phone, but I had to save my phone because what if I didn't wake up for work or anything?
Mhm.
So, but I fell asleep. Like, not that's just one thing, but I fell asleep like with having like either Big Bang on in the background or like Ghost Adventures or Community. And
Mhm.
but the thing is, if I have it on like my Max, I don't know if you've seen it, Eric. Max will just keep going.
Yeah,
It just won't turn off. So, but I fall asleep with a sleep timer. Like I don't need the
Mhm.
television to be on.
there's this shithead.
Yeah. Oh, but she's so cute. We
See
can have her.
how paranoid she is already? Freaking
Like
Oh,
this
out.
is
she's so cute.
Look, just
like
trembling probably. She's probably pissing on you.
Aw,
Look.
her little puppy
what?
Oh my
face.
god.
No.
She's like, hey, Dad. Oh my goodness, she's so cute. Yeah,
So
you're
got a
adorable.
fucking Mac machine backing up or back truck backing up.
I was like, is that you or is it
That's not
Sam?
me.
That's me. That's the garbage truck.
I was like, because we don't get shit around here.
What is it, a fucking garbage truck at 9 o'clock at night?
Yep, every
I was like,
Sunday and
damn.
Wednesday.
I was like, damn, your trash people be late as fuck. They're
Our
like,
trash
damn,
got
get
delayed.
Catherine.
we got delayed because it's Juneteenth.
Oh yeah, I was like, yeah, it is Juneteenth today. Like,
Happy
so
Juneteenth, everybody.
right? I mean, hey, more. I have no problem with it. Except I have a guy at work. Speaking of it, he's like, I don't understand why all the fucking banks are closed. I'm like, really? It's fucking Juneteenth today. He was like, it's what? I was like, I'm not even going down this road.
Nope.
I'm not even
Yeah,
going
Nope.
today.
so yeah, normally our trash gets picked up. Like it should have gotten picked up this morning, but it's delayed. We had to put it out tonight for tomorrow. Good
Right.
old city trash collecting.
But yeah, due to the holiday, just like uh, we were supposed to go service Oakland today, like Pitt. Ain't nobody there.
No, Pitt, dude, that's crazy. So like Pitt, because they made it a federal holiday, national holiday, whatever.
Federal, yeah.
Yeah, and so UPMC hasn't like they recognize it, but it's not one of our like paid holidays off like we get Christmas, Thanksgiving, shit like that.
Same.
But our obviously like half of our doctors are residents because they do rotation through our clinic for their schooling. So yeah, they are working with us and are on our schedules, but they follow the Pitt rules because that's obviously where they go to school.
Yeah.
So all of our residents didn't come in for work today because they were off because like you just said, like Pitt's closed.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The campus acknowledges the day. So we didn't have like I was like, where's all of our doctors? It's Juneteenth. And I was like, but we're not acknowledging the holiday. And they're like, the students don't come in. And I was like, oh, son of a bitch. Okay.
Yeah, and that was all the like at least the colleges we service, they were closed. Like RMU was closed, Pitt was closed. So yeah,
Yeah.
like it was like even though like it was a holiday, like half to three quarters of the people we serviced today, there was nobody there.
Dude, I
And
got
they're
into
like, hey, get
town
out there.
so
I'm like,
fast today.
I mean, nobody there.
Because I used to take the Fort Pitt tunnels, but I've made my rants and complaints about these fuckers and their cutting you off shit. So now I
Mhm.
go Liberty tunnels, which it sucks because there's a light at the end. But so normally it takes me a few minutes to get through the tunnel, but today, dude, it was like fucking drag racing. I got to the beginning of the tunnel and I was like, there is no one in here.
Yeah.
Like I was like, shit. I thought I was gonna be late for work.
Well, when I was leaving today, I was like, all right, cool. I was like, I'll head up McKnight. I was gonna go donate plasma. And I was like, oh man, there's nobody here. And then I looked over at the ball field and I was like, oh yeah. Anyway, there was a fucking something
Oh, the
happening.
12:30 game.
Yeah. And I was like,
Yeah,
why
but the
am
Pirates
I
aren't in
here?
last anymore. So that's a plus. That's a plus. The Pirates are no longer in dead ass last place.
Shut up, your Mets suck ass.
Hey, they just went on a seven game winning streak. So they are now like just on the edge of getting the wild card. So
Oh, yeah, we're in the wild card mix.
I was like, I'll just be here bitching about the traffic and whatnot. Y'all can do whatever y'all want to do about this shit. And I was like,
you're just jealous. You know, you're still upset that we got what's his name? Martinez. Yeah. Uh-huh.
yeah, I was like, let's just keep
No,
going. I like
we're
this.
we're happy. We're happy with what we got. We're happy with what we got. Ain't no complaints here.
If they can continue, we'll be up there in second place soon. So we're getting there.
I don't hate the Mets. I don't hate the Mets unless they're playing the Pirates. Other than that, I don't mind them. I think I've told you before. Like I got Mets gear. I got a throwback Nolan Ryan Mets jersey. Like I'll rep. Like I don't care. It's just when they play the Pirates, I might have a problem. But because I am just as much as you do. I hate the other team from that neighborhood. We won't mention the name because people die. Because for the longest time, so like I obviously diehard Pirates fan, but I always wanted to pick like an American League team to follow, and it just so happened that I followed the Red Sox, so I learned to hate that other team.
All
Just
right,
let me
all right,
know
I'll
when I
give you
can come
that.
back in. I'm fine.
But I'm not as like much of a red. Like I still like the Red Sox, but not like not like. I'm just particularly the Pirates now. But yeah, the Yankees. I don't own a Yankees hat. Never will. That's the only thing.
I have so many, I can't fucking even tell you.
Yeah,
I
but there's
own
a
one.
difference.
I own
Oh,
one Yankee hat. One. And the
oh,
reason being I was dating a guy in college who was obsessed with New York, and he was like, I want to go to the new Yankee Stadium because they had just built the new Yankee Stadium. And I was like, all right, cool. Yeah, we can go. I will sacrifice and I will step foot in a Yankee Stadium. And I did. I went to a Yankee game for him. And he bought me a Yankee hat, and I just never had it in me to throw it out. Ever.
yeah.
I was like, it actually still looks nice.
I have to take back that statement. I do own a Yankee hat, and I only wear it once a year. And it's not so much I wear it because it's a Yankee hat. I wear it because it's New York and it has the 9/11 commemorative on the side.
Okay.
So
Much
on
respect to that then.
9/11, I will wear that hat once a year. Other than that, it gets put back in the closet where I can't see it.
Well, that's
See,
what's
now
so
here's.
funny. Like, I swear to God, I wore a pirate hat on Monday, and it was just a gray pirate hat, and I had a guy at a Giant Eagle talking baseball to me for a good 15 minutes to the point where he's behind me talking, and I didn't know he was talking to me. He said something about the Reds, and I knew they were playing the Reds. I knew that, and I was like, he's talking to me, and I was like, wait, all right. So I'm like, all right, and I was like, hey, what's up? And he's talking about the fucking pitcher and all this shit, and I was like, dude, it's just a hat. I was like, it's just a gray hat. It goes to the gray. I was like, I don't want to sit here and talk about the Buccos. I don't have the time or the energy. And that's what's funny is like I mean, yes, I am a Yankees fan. So sometimes I'll wear it out and don't want to talk. I don't want to talk about the team. Guess what? This dark blue goes with the fucking dark blue. That's how it goes. I had it happen the other day. I was wearing an Atlanta Hawks hat. And the guy's like, "Oh, that team's trash." I don't care. I don't give a fuck.
You
It's
just use it for the apparel. That's it.
that's it. And then yes, I own 5 Mets hats. So I wouldn't say it's Sam's fault, but it kind of is Sam's.
I think I have 3. I know I have 2 for sure. I might have a third. I have just their standard, the blue with the orange NY.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And then I had this I think it was like a batting practice or some random uniform hat they had like a bunch of years ago where it's a blue hat with an orange bill, but it has the Mr. Metropolitan guy on it.
Oh, that's
That's a good one.
awesome.
Just because I'm like that's I mean like out of a lot of teams like that's a pretty cool mascot and logo just the guy
Mr.
with a giant
Met?
baseball head. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool. I mean, it ain't no pirate parrot, but it's pretty cool.
I mean, but have you seen Mrs. Met? Because she's got some curves. So she got some junk in the trunk.
I didn't
She
know there
was at
was
the
a
Chris
Miss.
Brown concert for
I
fuck's
didn't know
sake.
she had it all hanging out. That's whose ass was in her face. That's what it
Mrs.
was.
Met
Over
was
here
twerking
shaking
next to
that
me.
ass. Like I knew
No,
about you, Miss Met down.
I think the craziest baseball. I would have to say kind of sports mascot. Um, Me and Mike dove into this weird rabbit hole one year. The Milwaukee Brewers were doing this throwback to the old era uniforms or whatever. And I'm like, what is that thing on their hat? I can't figure it out. We did the research and I found out they used to have their logo or their mascot was a fucking beer keg with a beer tap.
I
And I'm
mean,
like,
rightfully so.
I mean, it made sense, but I was like, why'd they get rid of it? I want like
Yeah, right.
so I bought the hat just because.
I mean, I think I only own one Brewers hat, there's some rarities where I just own one or two, but it's like, if you really think about it, especially here, like the standard is always like the Pirates, and the universal one is always the Yankees or the Red Sox. You can find them fucking anywhere.
Yeah.
Then you get those rarities, like you find a Mets hat or like a Celtics hat, or you find something that's off or whatever, and you're like, oh, okay, cool, and that's what I'll grab. Is that one off or that rarity where it's like that's cool, but it's like the same colors and colorways. It's usually primarily the Pirates and the Yanks. Like that's because
Mhm.
that's always obvious. Like I was like my Mets hat, the one I have that's gray and orange. I never saw that, so I grabbed it. And then I
Mhm.
saw another one where it's like the Mets hat is that blue and the orange like standard, but the orange is the outline, and the inside where the Yankee or the Mets symbol is actually gray. So I was like,
Mhm.
okay, cool. I grabbed that. And then I have the one that matches my jersey. And then I have another one which is like an all-star one too. Like I have a couple.
Yeah.
If it's different, I grab it. Like hands
Mhm.
down. That's just what I do.
Yeah, I just have
Don't
jerseys.
don't shake your head at me.
I can't with you and your randomness.
You love me.
There has to be a rhyme and reason for every hat that I purchase, and it's not feel like.
It's
And
called it
I,
goes with
I,
this
I look,
outfit.
and I see that's the thing. Like, and I know that's your thing, and I know that's a lot of people's things. Like, hats are a huge part of the fashion world now. Like, I worked in it for how many? For almost 10 years. I get it. I know. New Jordans come out. There was more likely a new somebody team hat that was coming out to match those Jordans. Like
Mhm.
we were, I'd be sell. I had a deal with the shoe store managers. Like, hey, let me know when new shoes are coming out, and let me know what the color schemes are. I'm gonna make a display of hats that match those shoes. We'll share business. You send customers my way, I'll send them your way. Like
Yeah.
that's just how we did it. It worked out. But for me, like collecting hats is it's more of a nostalgia thing. Like there's a rhyme or reason why I have that hat. And it just so happens that I have so many fucking hats that if I need the matching outfit, I know I got something to go with it. Like there's never a question like,
Yeah.
oh, I got a but like I don't purposely go out and buy a hat just because like, oh, I want it to match this outfit I'm wearing today, or you know what I mean? Like that's like why I have like these couple just simple black and whites. Like I call 'em my everyday hats. I can throw it on with whatever and it doesn't matter. But
Mhm.
like me, like I there's a problem. I
I was
just
like, I'm with you on that because I'll sit there and find a hat and be like, that's dope. But I might not have anything to go with it. And it'll sit like in the bag, just waiting. And then one day I'll be like, you know what? That one. But
now see I me and Mike have this like it's not a challenge, but it's just like this like I don't know, it's like a bucket list thing that we want to do. We always say we're gonna do it, but we never do. Because between me and Mike, like we each have enough hats that I could wear a different hat for a whole like every day for a whole entire year.
yeah.
And I would probably still have more. Like I could probably go into pushing almost 2 years.
Well, I just cleared a
Mm.
whole shit ton of them out once I moved here. Like stuff that were like old or like not
I never
repairable.
I never get rid of a hat.
If
I
it means
I
something to me, I don't get rid of it.
I do not I will never get I don't care what the fuck it is. I'll never get rid of a hat.
Mm, they're
Because
gone.
again, I bought it for a reason. Like there's again some nostalgia. I guess try to. Sorry. Um I just yeah, I I just looked at Donna the other day and I said, "Don't kill me." And she goes, "Well, that's not a good way to start the conversation." And I said, "Well, I'm gonna have to tell you this, but don't be mad." And she goes, "Now what?"
That
And
never
I
worked.
said, "It's been 24, maybe 48 hours." And she goes, "Yeah, and I said, there's 5 hats coming in the mail." I mean, well, 4 were coming in the mail, and then they got me at my Father's Day hat. They get me a hat every day for Father's Day. So it was Sunday. So they gave me my hat for Father's Day,
Yeah.
and then I was like on top of it all. there was a bunch of my hat companies having Father's Day sales, so I got 4 more new hats.
Yeah.
See,
like,
that's where
don't
I
even-
like to I talk with my clients about what's called their unicorn space. And that's where it's your time and your way to express yourself. So your hats, as I'm looking at it, is a way for you to express yourself. So if it's going to take, a hat every day to last you 2 years to express the way that you feel comfortable in doing it, more power to you, Eric.
It's just the way well, see, for me, it was like just my grandfather, him and my grandmother used to travel a lot, and I was the first grandchild and only grandson. So they would always come back, grandparents go on a trip, they come back with back then it'd be like t-shirts or something fun for the grandkids. But my grandfather, being the only boy, he always loved buying a hat. Like he'd always get me a hat from wherever they went, different cities, different places. So that's where my hat collecting kind of started, was just my grandfather. So it's become a monster of a thing since then. And then working for Lids did not help that cause. Just because Lids had this rule that that you had to always be trying to wear the newest fresh thing.
Yeah.
So it just became a thing. And this is the thing, like Paul was talking about earlier, he was talking about yeah, he might not have a ton of money, but at least he knows his bills are paid, you know what I mean? All that stuff's taken care of. I still do it to this day. It was something I did when I worked for Lids, and I still do it to this day. I factor in one hat a paycheck as if it was a bill.
Yeah.
So that way I know I can at least buy one. So
But that's your thing. That's
Yeah.
your
Right.
release. That's
Yeah.
your unicorn space. That's your thing. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So it's like that's your space. You know what I mean? Like same. I haven't had a chance to literally pay for video games in fuck forever.
Yeah.
So I get one or two I bought 2 in the last 3 months.
Yeah.
But I contribute my time. That's my unicorn space. When I don't have Brandy or I don't have Xander, and I have 15 minutes anymore, that's my unicorn space. I spent $60. I'm gonna get my fucking $60 on them. Like you bought that hat, you're gonna get the longevity out of that hat.
Yeah.
Oh, I will
won't
get a
eat it.
longevity.
Sometimes Sam wants tacos, she'll go get the goddamn tacos.
Exactly.
She had a giant fucking taco in her face. Didn't even know it.
There was more of an ass, but
Same thing.
if she'd have turned around, she'd have a fucking taco in her face. But that's not what I'm used to. Okay, that's that's way too much cheese for me. I'm good, bro.
Yeah.
But yeah,
No.
go ahead.
You guys have your hats. I have my makeup. We're all good.
Yeah, right. Everybody has their. I like that. Everybody has their unicorn space. Plain and simple. Title this one "Unicorn Space."
You know that the unicorn is the national animal for Scotland?
Yes, I was with you watching the pay-per-view.
I was just letting the viewers know, dude. Such a trap.
I'm sorry.
I knew you were there.
See, I love it because if I could move to Scotland, I would.
To look for a unicorn that doesn't exist, or just
Well, I mean, my unicorn could be, the perfect man that doesn't exist. So.
I mean, yeah, we'll have that.
Well, I try. Speaking, I don't know why I talk about Scotland. Did you see that the news? Those fuckers destroyed Stonehenge.
Did they really?
This is how you know that the fucking world is dumb. Evidently, all across the world, there's these more protests going on. With their environmental protests, a lot of them are against, the digging for oil and all that shit. So these fuckers were over in England. They were protesting this environmental shit. So they thought it was a good idea to paint bomb Stonehenge. And I'm like, ain't that contradictive to your cause? Like,
I mean, it should be.
you're for the environment, but you're destroying a natural land.
Yeah.
Like a national landmark. Yeah.
Yeah. And they said that the government doesn't know what they're going to do. They caught the people, but their problem is uh this week, tomorrow or Friday or whatever, they have like this giant, I don't want to say party, but it's like the solar eclipse because it's like the summer solstice or whatever.
The summer
And
solstice.
evidently Stonehenge has some magical powers during that time, so a bunch of people flock to the area every year, and they're like, we don't know what we're gonna do now because Stonehenge is, I think it's like construction orange. Like that's the color they used.
Maybe somebody was just eating a shit ton of Cheetos around it. I don't know.
Because the thing is, I was like, well, just power wash it. Like, what the fuck? Like, just power wash it. But they can't because, again, it's like like they have to have these scientists come in and they're gonna have to like determine how and what they could do to try and clean it.
Yeah, in some way to preserve it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm like, oh, that's all fucked up. I think
Right.
protesters got to go.
I know, because you said to power wash, and I'm like, well, would that make it crumble? Will that that's probably going to destroy it?
Yeah,
I
you
thought
would
of
think
that
like the
too.
impact.
It'd be chipping away. I'd
Mhm.
fucking put a giant smiley face in it, you know?
Or what if the pressure is so bad that for some reason it moves the stone?
Fall
know
like
what I mean?
dominoes.
Yeah. You know, you have to be like really cautious on how they're going to actually approach this.
That's why they said they had to call in like these fucking scientists and shit. My whole thing was, it was just, what I took away from it was, that sucks for one. Two, these protesters, like, what? Again, the title of your group is environmental protesters, and you just destroyed the fucking environment.
Environment.
Yeah.
You
Uh,
motherfuckers don't think shit through.
Right. At what cause? It's not
We're
even
just,
your own cause. You weren't even fucking thinking.
we're just gonna go yell through a bullhorn and make some noise, and
Because that seems to be the solution for everything, but yet the point doesn't ever get across. Or no.
Mhm.
I'm loud and I'm proud.
Yeah, right. But
It
again,
sounds so much like, oh my God, I'm not even joking. It's like when I'm working with my clients and I'm just like trying to explain to them, like, okay, so what this one person did, yes, it was a big deal. It was inappropriate. They should not have done it. But now all of a sudden, like, your actions are way up here. They're 10 times worse. Like, you need to stop and think about what what the consequences of your actions are going to be. And that's why I feel like this.
they don't. Nobody
Mhm.
thinks before they act at all anymore.
Mhm.
Nobody does. It's just like fuck with it and then think about it later. And if you fuck up Stonehenge, well,
Yeah,
our bad. It doesn't. It makes
construction
sense.
orange. Fucking looks like Einstein back there behind you on Stonehenge now.
I love my fucking Einstein, bro.
I'm just saying.
He was a good $5 at Ollie's. So, but you can't.
Well, I learned something new today. I don't know if you knew this one, Eddie.
Time for it.
Oh, I knew. I knew.
You knew this one because this was news to me. Did you know that certain cruise ships have lifeboats that will hold up to 32 people, and they include a restroom?
In the lifeboat?
In the lifeboat. So if you're stranded out on sea, you got a place to piss.
Yeah, it's called the fucking ocean.
Yeah, right. It's right there.
They're large lifeboats that are now covered, mind you. They're not open. Like, it's literally, you have a cover, you have shade, and you have a bathroom on your lifeboat.
They came a long way since the fucking Titanic.
That's probably what inspired them.
That's probably it, bro. Half facts. They're like, you know what? Because Jack could have got on that door. That is fucking wild. I have to look into that one.
Well, they're gonna fucking put people in another fucking coffee can and send them down into the water. So
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and they're I wouldn't be.
Let them weed themselves out, guys. Okay.
no, they're
Natural
already working on.
selection.
There's another group. There's another group that now wants to go down and explore the other one that blew
I know.
up.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Yep, I heard that. Yeah. So I'm like, guys, natural selection. Come on, just
We up,
themselves
we up,
out.
we upgraded from a Nintendo controller to a PS5 controller to steer this thing. We'll be
Oh, so
okay.
yeah, that's gonna make everything better. So in a
They
month
have
or
like
two
all
from
this money, but
yeah,
the lack
right.
of brain cells.
Yeah.
So in like 2 months, you'd be like, hey, you hear about the people with the PS5 controller who blew up down there? You're like, just send more. Because I don't know what the fuck's happening.
Bill Gates is like, I tried to get him to use an Xbox, but they didn't want to listen.
Right? Or at least let's just not use a video game controller. Let's not go back down to where they went already and they died. Like, let's be logical, but there is no logical in life anymore.
We started off
I
using
heard
a.
from
Go ahead.
I heard from numerous clients that Mr. Beast was asked to go down and he politely declined the invite.
Whoa, good
Oh,
for him.
I would put it down there for sure. Like he wouldn't do that shit because he would be fucking Instagram living it the entire time till boom.
Yeah. But like, look at that. The man made millions off of his YouTube account, okay, and he's smart enough to be like, "Yeah, that's not the greatest idea, guys."
Right, but then you
Like,
get some fucking wackadoos that are like millionaires, but like, you know what sounds great? Going down and seeing a Titanic. You know what? I'll go to a museum. I'm still on land and can see it from fucking right here. I'm good. I'm good. I
like
don't
we'll
need
plan
to
your
go.
funeral.
Yeah, right. I'm like, I'm really okay, guy. Like, no.
Well,
Jesus.
at least Jack floated on a fucking side of a door. I mean, he didn't get in the coffee can.
No, but I mean, he still could have got up on there with her. I'll stand on that till I die.
I mean, he could have. He could have.
And then she's the worst woman in history. I'll never let go. And then she let go of his body and he sank to the bottom of the ground.
I mean, he could have. She didn't know this about him, but he was a great paddle boarder. He could have stood up and got another fucking piece of wood and paddle boarded them
That's it.
right to land.
There's just so many things that are wrong. I mean, they had just met, and then they're like lusting after each other. She's ready to give up her entire life for a stranger. Like, how do we know that he wasn't really into her just for the money? I'm just saying.
Again, this has been the theme of this fucking episode. The world may never know. Like, where?
Hey, well, you had to watch 2 VHS tapes to figure that shit out.
You damn fucking
That
right.
is
You guys
true.
do.
And don't forget, be kind. Rewind.
That's right.
Yeah.
And if you don't, they charge you a couple bucks. That's bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
If you're
Like,
gonna be late,
motherfucking youngins
just
don't know
keep
about that.
to keep it another night.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck that.
God, I remember when like there were programs that were coming on, and even if it was like 2 a.m, I'd be like, guys, I need to. We gotta get the record. We gotta get the DV. What is it? The VCR ready. We gotta get the record.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hell yeah. When you have to plan it the fuck out.
Yep. I would wake up at 2 a.m. and sneak out and go to the living room and turn on the TV and then press it and just like wait and press it.
Fuck you gotta get it in.
Right?
Like, I need to see that shit.
I remember there were times that I was like out there and I would get out there 10 minutes early and I would hear my dad get up to go use the bathroom and I would hide under the kitchen table and wait until he was done.
Fucking Sam after stealth mode. Like, shit. Like, oh, fuck. I almost thought he got me. Did he see me?
Well, that was like earlier. I was talking to Levy, and I guess I'll mention this because Joe don't care. Sam might care. I don't know. So we lost.
You got 5 minutes.
We lost a great person yesterday, and good old Willie.
I know about that. Yeah.
So I was talking to Mike. I was like, I wanted to watch the baseball game tomorrow. They're honoring the Negro Leagues, just in general. I was like, but now I want to watch it even more. I was like, but fuck, we got bowling. And he was like, yeah, I already set up the DVR. It's going to record. And I was like, ooh, good call. Like, but like, Sam was saying, like, yeah, you got to pre-think it, but that was because you had to be strategic. Like, now I'm just like, oh yeah, let me just hit the button on the fucking, I don't even got to hit it on the TV. I just got to hit it on the phone. Record that for me.
Yep. It's the best. Especially, I don't even have fucking cable, but I have mom's Xfinity streaming. And what I do is I'll set up a DVR on her app that goes off her cable box.
Yeah.
And I'm not even in her fucking house. I don't even live there. It's just like,
Yeah.
oh, look at that. All right, cool. By the way, Marge Simpson, the lady who voiced Marge Simpson, died too.
What? When?
I don't know if it was yesterday or today. Is she gone?
He wasn't old. What the hell happened to her?
I don't know. We got to do research and we'll talk about it next week.
Yeah, we're gonna have to research that shit because, like, I would see her because she was doing a lot of like social media stuff, like because I mean, she was one of those people that you knew she was Bart Simpson, but then you didn't realize how many other TV shows or even just on The Simpsons, how many characters.
Oh, not Bart. Marge.
Oh, Marge. Oh, I thought you said Bart. Okay,
Marge Simpson.
it's just Marge. Who cares?
I mean, that show fucking cares. Because who are you going to have to fill that slot?
I'll do it.
Mhm.
Just like you were going to fucking kick a kangaroo, bro. Here we go again.
I did fight a kangaroo and I kicked them in the nuts, and that's how you win.
Yet there's no video.
Yeah. No video, no pictures. It never happened.
How am I supposed to video and fight a kangaroo at the same time?
Well, I mean, if you were going to go...
Bring Donna with you.
Yeah, I mean, you have a wife. It is your anniversary today.
Nope, I'm walking away.
See? No one else is letting me or hanging out while I fight the kangaroo.
I didn't get a phone call.
Get a tripod. There you go.
I was like, I didn't get a phone call. Sam, you didn't get a phone call, did you?
No, I did not.
So we're calling.
I would have been there in a heartbeat.
It was a spur of the moment trip. I went down for fucking Elimination Chamber in Perth. Like, what do you want me to do? I couldn't help it.
How are you ever going to get on a barge in fucking New York for Sam's birthday? You going to fight a kangaroo on there too? That's what you said.
What?
You said you were going to fight a kangaroo there too. Apparently, you're the kangaroo fucking fighter.
If there's a kangaroo on a fucking barge in New York, I'm gonna walk up and shake its hand. Like, hey, good travels, bro. Good travels.
Sam, you have to get somebody in a fucking kangaroo costume just so I can see this unfold.
And then you're gonna pack his pouch with some ice.
Yeah,
Put some ice in that pouch. You put ice in the pouch. Put a 6-pack in there. And you just have him walk around. You got a personal cooler.
Yeah, but make sure you line it because you don't want it to see through the costume and then it looks like the kangaroo pissed himself.
That would be some weird ass request. I'm gonna be like, I have one request. Can you get a staff member to dress as a kangaroo and just stuff that?
I mean, this is great and thank you all, but I just like get a kangaroo with a big pouch because you're trying to, get some line it and then put some ice in it and then like beer and shit. No.
A kangaroo would be like going around asking for beer and be like, that's $5.
Like, here you go. Here's another one. They're just reaching in the bottom.
Listen, we'll line the pouch. We'll line the pouch with like a giant Ziploc bag or something so the water don't leak.
All right, like your guinea pig agrees.
I don't know what that's. I don't know what that. That's a squirrel.
Well, your pet was quite excited.
Yeah, your pet was excited.
No, it is a guinea pig, but
yeah, you can't figure it out either. Xander calls her a squirrel.
that guy right there. That guy. Oh, my T-Rex on.
I'm like, I know Sam's over here, and I know you're over here.
A little easier. You're in the middle, fuckhead.
Two people.
The guy in the middle's family member likes to call our guinea pig a squirrel. So
he was fucking around.
She has become a squirrel.
It's a squirrel.
How much it's caught on.
Last time we were there, he was like, "Hey, look, it's a guinea pig."
Yeah, he actually called her by her name.
Yeah, he called her Rosie, and then the worst part is Eric's like, "I'm always gonna call her a squirrel." I'm like, "That's on you now, man."
That is one fucked up squirrel with no tail.
Right. Well, people, I have to wrap this up because I see it's going on 2 hours and 30 minutes. So we're going to have to do this another time.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 hours and 30 minutes after being gone for 10 days. If they don't like it, they ain't fucking
tough shit.
Follow. It's like subscribe to somebody else's fucking channel. But you're going to be back next week anyway. So I'm going to bid Sam a farewell. Thank you as always, Sam, for coming on here.
You're very welcome.
And we will see you next time, especially.
Sounds good.
Take care, dear.
Say it,
Thank
Sam.
you. You too. See you guys.
See ya. And then I'll fucking see you next week.
Yeah.
Yeah. And next week we will have Kiana on the show. We'll probably catch up on some high school memories. And then I'm in the talks with Dave Miner, like for sure.
Okay.
And then somewhere down the road, Brenton is coming on the show.
If you say so.
So I make it happen. We just stay yapping.
You make it happen, I'll be slapping.
I don't want to know.
Uh-huh.
I don't want to know. But as always, we ran this way longer, but we are back. We'll be back next week. If something happens, we'll bring it up on any socials, mine, Eric's, the podcast, etc. So as always, thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all for reaching out and wondering what the fuck, why we didn't have a podcast. That means y'all are paying attention, and we love y'all for that. So we'll see y'all next week. Of course, for the Show Thoughts podcast, I'm the Big Show. That's Big E. See you next week.
Later.
Later.